So, when we last left our intrepid characters, we had made it back to the city of Green Nest, and having had a pretty successful foray into the Dragon Hatchery, the cave system that held a number of dragon eggs. And you brought those dragon eggs, three of them, back to town, and the townspeople and the mayor have taken over those, and they put them in the dungeon, or actually in the cells underneath the keep, and they said they would take it from there. They also, when you described what had happened, that all of the evidence that you'd picked up from the Raiders camp and the Dragon Hatchery says that the cult of the dragon had left in a hurry, basically, and loaded up all the treasure and everything else that they've gathered from this region onto wagons and carts and headed what looks to be north up the trade route to the north, probably towards Burdusk, maybe even north of Burdusk by now. And I have you guys on the Sword Coast map down at the bottom. You can see Green Est. Just to the northeast is Burdusk, and pretty much straight north is El Terrell. And based on the map you found in Frulam's chambers, you found a map that shows all the cities they hit. You found ledgers of kind of what looks to be what they got, or listings of the treasure that they have, and notes indicating that they are headed up towards Baldur's Gate, which is north on the trade route and then straight east out to the coast. A fairly long distance, something like 500 miles. That was in addition, in those ledgers you found a reference to a half-elf named Talus that Mr. Blink was quite interested in, and as well as some really bad dragon poetry. Apparently Frulam had some interesting hang-ups and thoughts about what one should do with dragons. So you spent a few days in town getting rested back up, reprovisioning and resupplying. Basically, all of you have anything normal that you'd want. If you want a shield or some extra javelins or anything else that you want. Leosin has arranged for each of you to have a horse, and on the horse's pommel is a little pouch with 50 gold in it. So, and to cover expenses along the way, and has asked that you ride up to El Terrell and meet him there for maybe the next steps in the campaign against the cult. And that's where we are, gentlemen, is we need to head up to El Terrell on horseback, probably something along the lines of 3-4 day ride. It's about 220 miles, 210 miles if you ride cross country, but on horseback you can make about 60 miles a day.
In our current town, is there anybody that sells potions?
There is not, although there were 4 potions of healing. They did get identified that you found along with the Uon stones, the chain +1, and the other scrolls that we talked about. So each of you can have a potion of healing on your characters. That's what I'm just going to say that Shikamaru did, is he distributed everyone having one.
Okay.
That would be the wisest thing to do.
Does that go in utility or equipment?
It goes under
right?
utility, yes.
So again, remember, Governor Nighthill, very delighted with everything that you've done for them. They're very happy that you came to their town and helped. And basically, the message Leosin left for you was to meet him in El Terrell, basically as soon as possible.
All right. Does anyone else need anything from the town?
No.
I mean, is there really any good craftsmen in this town? I mean,
there are some excellent craftsmen. In fact, Shikamaru's family are high-end leatherworking.
Leather?
Yeah, leather.
Is there any silversmiths or goldsmiths?
Yes.
Really?
Yes to both. Yeah, it's a trade town, so they got lots of trade goods that come into town and lots of trade goods that go out of it.
How much would a fine silver and gold gilded sheath for my sword be? Something that kind of matches the pommel and the fucking thing that stops your hand from going over it.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. You hear from down around your waist.
Hilt, thanks.
Probably about. It depends on how well you wanted to go with it, but you could.
Shouldn't you ask the smith that?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
thinking
Like,
silver
you should
down the
probably go talk to a
body.
smith and ask him that
Yeah.
instead of just asking,
Well, let me move
praying
you
about
back
it.
to town. So back in town, I think I have everybody back in town. You're in the square, and oops, I got to get off. This building that I'm pointing at the north east, that is the leather compound. Yeah, Shikamaru tells you if you talk to his family in there, they can probably and describe what you want. They could probably help you a lot.
So he did find his family in there.
He did find his family in there. Yes.
Okay.
Wait, his family has a compound?
Yeah.
Dude's rolling. He's got the money.
They are movers and shakers in the community.
So who would I speak to? His dad?
Yeah, you can go over there and speak to him. Tell him what you want.
I go, Father of Shakira. I'm looking for a fine crafted silver sheath for my sword with gold accoutrements on both ends. Where could I get this?
Well, we can do the tip of the sheath and the bands and the cap at the top of it and gold and silver, but the rest of it ought to be leather, else it'll bind to your sword. What kind of do you want? The finest leather as well?
What do you got for choices?
Well, he's got normal cowhide leather and deer leather, but he also
Too
has
domestic.
yeah, he also has some fairly unique leathers in there. He's got one from a long lizard of the water, he calls it, which you would recognize as a crocodile. And then he's got some snake skin.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Oh, boy, reptiles, huh? What color's the alligator? Is it, you got a
Green.
red?
It's no red. It's kind of a blackish green. It's pretty though.
Echo, how do you feel about that?
Echo likes the snakes.
We'll go with the snakes. How much?
Oh. That'll be a smart move.
Yeah, so the snakes, along with more silver than gold, because the working's is probably gonna run you by with the family discount about 250 gold.
With the he tells that to everybody there, Frieza. Don't let me handle this. My good man. Let's talk. Come with me, please.
Yes, sir.
I know you're a
Who are
hardworking
you?
man. We've just saved this town from sheer destruction. You got to cut my boy a break. Do it for 125.
You raise a good point. I can cut my margin to 0 and do it for 200.
Frieza?
Well, you're better at negotiating because I was just gonna stab him in the heart with a sword and get no sheath. So I think the 200's a good. He gets to live, and I get my sheath. And
Yeah, you don't have to explain yourself to Craig later.
yeah, and I gotta tell Father of Shakira, you're not a dick like your son. So let's do this.
Okay. Well, we can have it ready for you in 2 weeks.
How long until we leave?
About 12 hours.
What's it take to get that done in 12? Because I need that sheath.
Uh,
I'm not going bare ass out of here.
12 hours. I'll get my best men on it. The gold and silver work won't be as pretty as it otherwise could be, but it'll be functionable in 12 hours.
Deal.
All right. So you hand him, he'll arrange with the silversmiths and the goldsmiths. You hand him over a couple hundred gold. So subtract that from your character sheet.
Yep.
And they get you something that Echo says, basically, this will do for now. But you can sense that he's quite happy with his new home.
Excellent.
Nice.
Okay. Anybody else have any final business in town?
I
Good
don't.
to go.
Yeah, I'm set to go.
I am
wanted to
ready.
go home. You guys are just disappointing.
I
I'm
have
sorry.
nothing. This town just was raided. They don't have much left. We've gone over that.
I came here with nothing. I leave with nothing
Yeah.
but a sheath and a good friend and a
I
sword.
mean,
Bulk hero.
Leosin, I've got to see him. He hasn't. We haven't finished our conversations. He kind of had to leave in a rush. We've been caught up, and he's expecting us. I want to get there.
All right. You mount up and head north.
Okay.
By the way, disappointing bullshit, Joe. That was some fucking good roleplay. Thank you.
Thank you. I wanted to use my charisma. I was like waiting for him to ask me for a roll.
Right?
No. You didn't need to. You made such a good point.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
like, you're right. I can't charge these guys.
I was over here
Make
cheering
money."
you on.
Okay. On your first day of travel, not much happens. You're just riding through the grasslands of. I mean, there's villages. Kind of, you see the villages scattered every few miles. But you don't run into anything, and you have a pretty good ride during the day. Do you set up camp, and tell me how you do it?
Where are we at this point in your narrative? Are we in are we in woods or are we in on a
Okay, I'm
field?
moving you guys to. Can you guys see the big map?
We see the big map.
Mhm.
You are about here.
Okay. Is it just a large open field? There's no rock formations or plants or anything anywhere?
Oh, there's little copse of trees and hills and dales and little valleys. I mean, if you're looking for a little bit of a defensible place, you can find one.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and before we do anything, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Druidcraft to figure out what the weather is, what the weather's gonna be
Okay.
in the next 24 hours.
Sunny and mild.
Can you ping the map again where we were? I missed that. Okay, cool.
Somewhere in that general
Yeah,
area.
just kind of just below the E
Yeah.
and the R on the Burdusk. You're about a
Well,
third of the way to.
the names aren't showing up for us.
They're not?
No, they're probably on the GM layer.
Well, shit. How
We
do I
literally
do?
just have a map.
Oh, and do you have dots on it?
There's little dots for the roads, but that's about it.
Interesting. You see the dash lines, but not the names. Wonder how to fix that.
Move the names to the map layer. Anyway, hey guys, it's I just checked, and it seems as though we were going to have some fairly nice weather. We could probably camp out in a valley somewhere without worrying about being drowned.
All right.
Or perhaps even a nook of trees.
I don't believe did I don't remember identifying any trees anywhere. Do you see any trees?
Sort of in a field here.
Oh,
Hey,
look, there's places have names.
titles.
Look at that
There
shit.
you go.
Oh my
Holy
god!
shit! Changes everything.
Yeah, now we know where we are.
We're on the outskirts of the Wood of Sharp Teeth. The Woods of Sharp Teeth, I would imagine.
You know what? Let's not
I
go to the
had
woods.
no idea you guys couldn't see that.
Yeah.
None of it.
Oh, dude, this is a much better map.
I was
'Cause
trying
we're
to
well
visualize.
There's no reason
that-
why these are on different. I have no idea why they would do that.
I
No
was
idea.
trying to visualize some
Right,
of it,
same.
but I was way off.
I guess because we don't have a map yet, so we really shouldn't know where these things are. So you
This
can
is the
turn
map
on,
of your.
Well, I mean,
but we
if we
didn't.
took it off of Frulam, then we would know where these
Right, but I'm just
places
saying, when
are.
you first start out, we don't have the map yet, so we may not have identified some of these places. So you just turn them on as we identify them.
Well, maybe.
I'm just going based on.
I'm just trying to. I'm just going to open up the whole map. You should be able. You should be able
Yeah.
to know. I mean,
Oh, this is great.
you're wizards and druid. You're educated. You
eyes
should
have
know
been
at least a
opened.
map of the known world.
I am woke.
Right?
It's like
All right.
the new world.
So yeah, we're gonna set up camp. Hey guys, let's did you see any trees around here, Frieza?
Hey, draw a line so I know where we've been. Do like one of those Indiana Jones things where it's like dun, 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 you see the map.
Bum,
go.
ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba, ba. We
got-
really took that kind of a path.
We got a little lost.
Like one of those. Wow, boing,
drunk?
wow, boing. So
Pretty
we're right
sure
here.
it
We've
would've
gone
been a-
how many miles we go? 84 miles in one day, or is that 2 days?
Why can't I click my thing to delete it?
Gonna say we did that.
I'm still messing around with the.
Oh shit, he might have moved my line to the map layer.
Good God, you guys.
While we were doing our which direction we took.
Yeah, John Madden took the green line. Whereas I went with the black line, and the
Yeah.
gray line there is also.
Yeah, you are
All right. Anyway,
right. You are right just south of the B on Burdusk. How about that?
that works.
Oh,
That
okay.
works nicely.
That makes
All right.
sense. So the horses are kind of going at a very average pace, which is fine.
Is there any
Well, 60 days on a horseback. By the way, I'm gonna need a Constitution check from each of you
Sure.
Oh.
Is there any
just to see if your hemorrhoids have settled down yet or not.
listening carefully and and understanding how nature works? Do I sense any pools of water or safe water anywhere around here?
Sure. There's creeks and little lakes everywhere.
Okay, so we're gonna put ourselves within a short walking distance of water, but far enough away that any animals there won't be bothered by us.
Okay.
It's
Hey,
a
so
saving
that-
throw.
That B is 70 miles from Greenest. That's,
Yeah.
That's like 10 hours of riding, right?
Yeah, that's
For you,
60 miles is about as far as you can get in a day. So
Yeah.
this is probably gonna take you more like 4 days, not 3, but
sorry, I have a thing with animals. My horse was able to ride no problem.
yeah, your horse is wondering why you just didn't transform into a deer and walk
My-
yourself there.
No. My horse is honored to carry me. I was talking to him. His name is Ed.
I'm the DM. I'll tell you what your horse thinks.
Boom.
You don't speak horse.
So we're camping next to
Well, I'm speaking to you. Oh, wait a minute. That's horse's ass. Sorry.
Oh wow, that's so clever.
All right. So you're camping down. Describe for me.
I was told we need
what your
Constitution
camps look
saving
like.
throws.
Yep. I'd like to see Constitution saving. All right. Mr. Daru, you pass. Mr. Blink, your ass is hurting so bad that you can barely walk.
Oh my ass!
You're gonna need some
What the
attention
hell
if
were
you're
you
gonna
doing with
make
that
60
horse?
miles tomorrow.
Where's the consultation? Fuck it. I
It's
found
in your saving throws.
Shush.
Okay.
It's the fucking
Hello.
words.
Oh, Frieza's fine. He's doing fine on horseback. Mr. Blink,
See, the secret
you
is
need
gotta tuck
somebody
the
to
tail.
massage your ass for you.
Oh boy, this is gonna take some convincing. Hey Frieza, come here, buddy.
Nada.
No,
Not
buddy.
happening.
We're gonna talk about that 50 gold I just saved you, bro.
You got a healing potion? Use it.
No, it's not my hit points, buddy.
Well,
I'll give you 50 gold just to make the thought disappear.
a healing spell might do wonders.
Did-
By the way,
Did you
I
take
don't want
damage?
to waste a pot
Yeah,
on
did
my.
you take damage?
I don't know.
Apparently
Yeah.
his ass.
he
mean,
did.
do I
of
ass is
course.
ripping.
How much damage has he taken?
He's not.
Someone went to a bar with
He's got issues on his derriere. So
There's hemorrhoid problems here going on.
I-
I need some aloe. Come on there, fucking druid. Find
all right,
some
all right,
aloe.
all right. Here, I'll do this real simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and Druidcraft again on him, and
Okay.
we're gonna have a slight breeze just constantly blowing into his ass crack to help soothe it. Nice cool
Uh,
I've been
breeze.
farting all night, man.
That's nice, but the quads around his ass crack and the glutes are not getting a lot of help there.
It sounds
Get
like a
some
him telling.
aloe.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to suggest you just massage those things with those paws. You got thumbs, use them.
I don't have anything other than Thornwood that would work for this. So that sounds like a
Ow!
look, man.
You dicks!
I'm gonna just suggest that you just take it easy tomorrow and maybe ride side saddle.
If you want Mr. Blink as your riding companion and fellow adventurer, if you want to leave this earth with some honor, I will take your life for you if you want. I will do that for you.
I don't think we've gotten to that point yet. Easy,
No.
easy.
Just throwing that on the table though.
I'll find an aloe bush.
The druid might be able to find you some herbs and
I
brew up
did
a
ask
poultice
him.
I don't have any of that yet currently, abilities to do such things, but you know what I'm gonna do for you?
You do have eyes and a knowledge of the nature.
You know what I'm gonna do for you, Joe? I got this nice
Joe, Mr. Blink,
no,
Mr. Blink.
I don't know who this Mr. Blink person is. Because
He's the guy in our party.
oh,
the one,
is he?
the one I offered to off.
Yeah,
I think I just had an aneurysm.
Gonna help end his misery.
I'll kill you if you want, but I'm not going near your ass. Come on.
All right. Of
Hey,
course,
should go to-
the problem is I changed out all my spells, so now I can't even send like animals out. So, are there any animals around?
Tons of them.
All right. Since I haven't actually registered my spells yet, I'm gonna be nice and go ahead and change one thing before we start doing anything.
Can I cast mending on my ass?
The two halves of your ass form into one.
There's no more hemorrhoid problem.
And you fart and the top of your head blows off.
Yeah.
Healing potion enema, I'm telling you.
All right.
I'm not wasting a healing potion on hemorrhoids.
It's really it's not so much hemorrhoids, it's your calf muscles, or not calf, but quads are killing you. Quads and glutes. You're not used to spending 60 miles on a saddle and a horse, and
Right on.
All right. Here.
your ass is letting you know about it.
Just make sure. Deliver message.
So, what are you doing there?
Trying to sort something out. You guys are the ones who fucking rolled poorly, so now I've got to fix everything.
Uh-huh. Okay, so while he's busy jerking off in the corner over there,
I am
the rest of you
remembering.
describe for me what your camp looks like.
We got a campfire. A couple, one lean-to against a bush.
How about watch order? Who's got? Are you keeping a watch? And if you are, who? How does that work?
Yeah, I think we rotate off every 2 hours.
I can ask Echo if he wants to take a watch.
Echo's willing to take a watch.
Cool, and he's got like that good 360-degree type stuff going on also.
He does. He can hear and he can see in the dark. He's also pretty happy with his new sheets, so he's being kind of cooperative at this point. Although he hasn't gotten to kill anything recently, so that's
Hey,
got
I'm
him really
trying, aren't I?
depressed.
I'm trying.
Yeah, but you're trying to kill me.
It was like one of those, win-win situations. The sword's happy, you're not in pain.
Yeah.
All right, I got this sorted out.
Dream.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Charm Person on Goddamn. I gotta get lists of names up here. Shikamaru.
Okay. This could get interesting.
The hell does that have to do with my ass?
Oh, you just wait.
Are you making him go?
Is this where we take it off the PG-13 rating and we're going stepping into the R category?
Isn't he an elf?
Huh?
Isn't Shikamaru an elf?
I don't think so. You
It's
was
a rogue something.
yeah.
I never said his race.
It
Got
should be on
nimble
a sheet.
fingers.
Yeah, I'm
When
looking.
an
He didn't
orc-
set it.
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Because he's
He's
immune
human.
to charm, you idiot.
No, he's not. Because he didn't put it on his
Elves
sheet.
are.
He didn't put it on his sheet.
Yeah, you're right. I don't see it.
Well, you know what? Sucks to be him.
Okay. Well,
All
if you're
right,
gonna be late
lather
to
up.
D&D night. So so let me roll a die here. Oh yeah, he failed a saving throw big time. So he looks at you with eyes saying, "What would you like me to do?"
Shikamaru, as you know, our friend over there, Mr. Blink, has the thighs and legs of a 12-year-old girl. Could you kindly go over and massage those so that he could join us tomorrow on our rides and not hinder us? It would be greatly appreciated.
The
Sure.
the funny bear. The funny bear.
Sure, he says. Where's the liniment?
I believe you packed it in your bag.
Well, I think, by the way, Leosin was smart enough to put some liniment on all of your saddlebags, knowing that you didn't ride horses all that much. So yeah, he comes over and he gives your ass the best massage. I mean, you almost wish you do that every night.
You know, keep this in your mind. This would be a really nice thing to do for him for the rest of this ride.
Oh, an implanted suggestion, huh? Wow.
Wow, Mr. Blink's just got to do the booty dance and boom.
Okay. Doesn't seem to take, but
Damn it!
he did a really good job of massaging the backs of your legs and your ass and rubbing that liniment in really good, and you feel a lot better.
Okay.
But at the end of it, he decides he's tired. He rolls over and goes to sleep. He says, "I'm not on first watch."
All right.
All
Sure.
right, so first watch is not going to be Shikamaru because he's sniffed too much liniment and has got a headache.
It can be Echo, then Echo could just wake me up.
Okay, so Echo's going to be. Do you want anybody else up with Echo or just Echo?
I'll stay up. I don't have a need to sleep just yet.
Okay. All right. Dawn comes. Beautiful day. By the way, your Druidcraft told you. I think I told you, fair and nice.
Yep.
So relatively sunny and nice. Although that's the weather in this area. Who knows? 60 miles from now. But all right. So everybody gets up, and I assume we continue riding north.
Yeah.
Nope. Almost. Almost. All right. So you ride all day. Again, you're seeing little hamlets and villages, lots of farmlands around. You see, little copse of trees. I mean, think about, think like you're riding cross country in Ohio or something. A lot of farmland, but a lot of hills and dales and woods. And no encounters other than kind of normal villagers and such. And where I'm pinging the map, you're just about a little bit north of the B now.
Okay.
How
All right, Mr.
I didn't see
Blink,
where you pinged the
make me
map, by the
another.
way.
I didn't see a ping, but
Yeah.
north of the P, I get that.
Can you see the ping now?
No.
Not until you put it
Why
on the.
not?
You got to put it
Yeah,
on the
'cause you're-
select mode.
Yeah, you're at the measurement mode right now.
Well, I was, but I'm assuming he was too.
How about now? Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, right there. So you're right about, you're just north. Yep. You're just north of the B and Burdusk or so. And Mr. Blink, make me another saving throw. Constitution, please.
Mm-hmm. I was better.
You need a natural 20.
Yeah, that works. You're much better today. You figured out how to take the weight on in your stirrups instead of pounding your ass all day down on the saddle.
See, boys, I told you I knew how to ride a horse.
And although all of you are a bit sore because you're not used to this, it's not quite as bad as it was the last time. And you use liniment on yourself, but you don't need that deep massage like somebody did the other night.
I don't need it, but that doesn't necessarily mean I won't ask for it.
Wow.
Hey, I'm used to the finer things now.
Oh my God. Well, he looks at you like you're crazy and says basically like, I ain't doing it. Oh my God.
A lot of ass handling going on tonight.
Right? Get me on a horse, man.
How do you spell liniment? How do you spell that?
I have
Oh.
no idea.
I've never heard of it before tonight.
Yeah, it's like
It's like
Ben
Ben Gay.
Gay or
Yeah, I figured.
For
yeah,
older
something
people
like
than that Ben Gay's too old for.
Yeah, I gotcha.
There, I had to tell him what was going on with his hand. All right, so same deal. Ken, you're going to sleep at least some of the night,
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Are we? We're too far from the woods for me to go there and spend some time.
So
Yeah,
what if
Woods out, right?
the wood of sharp teeth?
Yes.
yeah. Just
Yeah.
keep in mind the distances on this
Yeah, no,
map.
I
Just
know.
because it's
We're
plain doesn't mean there aren't woods. There's copse of woods everywhere.
okay.
Ah, there you go.
I was looking more
mean,
for forest area,
Yeah,
not just.
yeah. A true, 100-mile long forest. Yeah, you're 30 miles from the woods of Shark
Yeah.
Teeth.
All right. Well, again, I will use. We'll go ahead and use Druidcraft to predict the weather for tonight through the morning.
All right. Oh, you predict some rain.
Okay. In that
It's
case,
it looks like you're gonna. I mean, it's gonna be nice weather in the morning, but as the day goes on, it's gonna get rainier and overcast and a bit chilly.
okay. So in my Druidcraft, I see a cloud, and I tell everyone, guys, not really got some good news for tomorrow. We're gonna be trudging through some mud. It's looking like we're gonna have some rain in the next 24 hours. Let's set up camp. Where are there any caves around?
No, not really. No.
Any You said there's some croppings of trees and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's also some little hamlets around. I'm sure you could go at least go into somebody's stable or something.
I like that idea. Let's
Yes.
find shelter, boys.
I've been inside of a town too long. I'm still.
What time is it?
Right now it's morning.
Well, just all are on our way. Close to dusk. If we see a hamlet, we'll jump in there. If not, I'm not made of sugar. I'm not afraid of melting.
All right.
Wait, didn't we just
All
get?
right.
Hold on. Didn't we just get here? We didn't even camp tonight.
No, you camped. I rolled for the encounter.
Oh, is that what that was? Okay. I thought we were
Yep.
setting up camp still.
Nope.
Alrighty.
He's got that figured out.
All right. All right. No encounters during the day, but just after lunchtime it starts to rain. Kind of a steady, slow drizzle, just kind of nasty, and it goes for hours. And in the evening it's still going on. Tell me and you're up about just south of the L. Somewhere
Have
out
we
here.
found any barns or whatever to sleep in?
Yeah, I mean, you pass by little hamlets, every few, towards dusk. You can see a little hamlet's got a couple of, looks like 4 or 5 buildings. They're all farms. I'm sure if you walk up there, a gold piece probably buys you a hot meal and room in the stables.
I'm gonna stay outside of the hamlet. The idea of keeping nature penned in disturbs me.
Okay.
So I don't like farms.
So, do you want to go up knock? Let's role play this. You want to go up knock on the door?
Yeah. Mr. Blink, what are you?
A sorcerer with
No, but I mean,
awesome charisma.
Are you a human or what are you?
Folk hero. Yeah, people love me. I'm a half elf.
The folk hero
This
race.
I
This
think
is
you have
true.
a better chance of knocking on a door, not scaring people, other than a half demon.
Yeah.
I'll
go with that?
I got it. I'm
Frieza,
good.
I'll just chill in the
you would do
shadows.
well to put your cloak hood up and just kind of
Yeah, I'll chill
be
with the
quiet in the
horses.
background.
I'll hold them.
Smart,
All right.
smart move. Yeah, let me talk to these people.
All right. The man of the house opens the door and says, "Are you here for weal or woe?"
Wheel or woe, sir?
Good or bad?
We seek shelter in your stable.
You should have went the knock knock Nunya business joke.
Oh, travelers, are you?
Indeed,
Yes,
we are.
it's a crappy day. Well, he says, well, I certainly you could stay in my barn. And he kind of looks at you expectantly and he says, "Are you hungry?"
We are, sir. Me and my friends here have come many, many miles to get to El Terrell, and we haven't eaten in about 2 days.
Oh, you have
Could
to.
you could you if we could work out an arrangement, could we
Why, s-
exchange goods for services?
why,
you pointing-
certainly.
You pointing to your butt?
Your butt. With your over by the horses, though. He doesn't. I'm just going over my shoulder.
He all of a sudden gets this funny look on his face and starts sniffing the air and says, "Who smells like Ben Gay?"
That would be the horses.
Oh,
Hashtag product placement.
Somebody fed them spearmint as a joke, and it just backfired. Literally.
yeah, that makes horses constipated. That's a very bad thing.
If they're farting mint, it's gross.
Well, I can have the lady put on a big bucket of stew. It's simple food and it's all we got. But if you see your way through to giving a couple of silver each to cover the cost, I reckon we'd call that a deal.
That sounds more than fair.
So what are you giving?
Let's give him. I give him 50 silver to cover the expenses for everyone.
This isn't an
his-
inn, Joe.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
his
okay.
jaw,
I've got money
his
to
jaw
burn.
hits
I'm a
the
folk
ground,
hero.
and he's like,
Well, you-
come on in. And
I'm
he
a folk
welcomes you
hero.
in, and he welcomes you and your companions, the two of them, into his cabin, and he starts yelling at his wife to get dinner on, and tells his kids that they're sleeping out in the barn tonight, but to clean up their rooms and make their beds for their fine guests.
when I walk by him, I take off my hood and I let him know the balance is to make sure that he forgets we're ever here when we leave.
He takes one look at you, and his eyes are about as wide as saucers, and said, "Sir, I won't even remember how much you gave me."
Do me a favor, sir. Please don't yell at your wife.
Oh, it's the only way to get her moving. But the hustle and bustle, pretty soon you're seated at a rough wood table, and stew and bread are put in front of you. The stew is steaming. It's really good. Just good, hearty homemade meal. Yeah.
Mm.
By the way, you should subtract 5 gold from your character sheet, because that's what 50 silver are, or 50 silver if you have it.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right. By the way, Frieza, your sword tells you that he's got a little stash behind the house in the well. There's a tiny bit of treasure back there.
No, really?
Yeah,
How tiny?
there's a peasant, so
Eh,
you can probably guess.
Is it raining out?
It is.
I don't want to get the leather of your sheath all wet again. It's clean.
He's not
It'll
telling you to
shrink.
go get it. He's just letting you know that it's there. He doesn't have any real desire to go get it.
No, I know, but that's why I'm not going to get it, because it's like, then you gotta. It's fresh leather. It's not, it's treated, but it's still.
Yeah.
I don't want to damage it.
It's already
It is
been out
expensive.
in the weather in the rain for 6 hours. It's plenty wet. But okay, the night passes. Let me roll one encounter for our druid who's out there fornicating with nature.
I'm comfortable out here. We're good.
Yeah, you are. You're good. Yep, nothing happened. And in the morning, they make you a nice big breakfast. She's up basically before dawn, and the whole house is up. The kids are all excited. They've brushed down your horses and cleaned them all up and given them a good feed as well. So everybody's happy. And by the way, the sun comes out bright and shiny, and it's going to be a nice day.
Which I knew from Druid crafting this morning.
Which, had you asked you, that's what I would have told you it
Yes.
was, because it's not going to rain 2 days in a row. Okay, so as you start riding north, your 4th day towards El Terrell, it's a large city, and it overlooks the river Chianthar. And one of the things that you notice pretty much before a couple hours have gone is you see a bright light. And there's the most distinguishing thing as you ride closer and closer to the city is this gigantic ball of light. It hovers above the city, and it illuminates it for miles. You can see it pretty much, from 20 plus miles away. You can see this light. And it lights the city. It seems to, be lit all the time. So as you ride into town, it's about midday, because it took you about 3.5 days to make the trip. And tell me who you're, what you do when you come into town.
I'm talking to the boys. Can you believe that stupid bastard fell for fake silver?
I look over and I'm like, why are you looking at your crotch?
Well, you guys weren't talking to me. I figured I'd talk to something.
Why are you looking at your crotch? Okay. So you're kind of riding down the main street, and you know, it's filled with merchants, river traders, farmers markets. I mean, this is a big city. This has probably got 10, 15,000 people in it. Really, really large.
Wow.
Okay.
Look at that.
Hold on. Does anyone remember off the top of their head if Leosin gave us any kind of notice as to where he was going to be heading here, or is he not here yet? Leosin's going
He
elsewhere.
is supposed to be here, and he
Okay.
gave you a contact.
Yes, I'm on it. Here we go.
Got it.
So let's head to guys. Why don't we head to an inn? Let's see if we can find an inn somewhere or a tavern.
Give me an L.
It's usually a good place to get some information. And we're gonna try to find Orenthar Froome in this town. We're probably gonna need to. No, that's a different name. Frulam was the other one.
Right.
So we need to find Orenthar Froome and figure out where if he's spoken to Leosin yet, or if we're here ahead of Leosin. So.
Okay. There's inns everywhere.
Which seems to be the most popular on the main road? We're gonna.
You see one of the inns that looks to be all the travelers kind of looks to be where all the guards and the travelers on the trade route kind of stop and go in. It's called the Inn of the Bucking Stag.
Guys, let's head over to the Inn of the Bucking Stag.
Oh. This.
Yes, to the Bucking Stag.
Okay. The Bucking Stag. So it's full, it's rowdy, got a lot of, smells of old beer and road sweat and leather. It's pretty big place, and
Do we have a city map or just the?
no map.
It's in your head, Ed.
You're not going to be here that long.
Be right back.
Well, assuming you do the right things.
We're gonna be here forever.
Otherwise, you'll be washed up druggy in the corner somewhere.
Nice. We're dead. Total party kill. Okay.
All right. So you see the innkeeper, a lot of business, a lot of people in the bar.
Okay. Looking around, what kind of people are in there?
The guards and merchants that travel the trade routes pretty much seems to be the clientele.
Any shady looking people around?
No, not really.
Have I seen any of the tieflings?
No.
Okay. So I'm gonna go up and sit at the bar. Order a sarsaparilla.
Okay. The innkeeper comes over and says, "We have ale and we have ale.
Can I have a root ale?
Root ale we have.
Okay.
And your friends?"
They have their own voices to speak. Boys, what would you like? And they're silent.
Your brother just said he'd be right back. So, all right. So ale's all around.
Sure. Could you
Keep this
get
simple.
the 12-year-old girl over here a pale ale, please? He gets a little soft if you give him too much.
Yeah. Do you have anything flammable?
Everything?
We have
Yeah,
some
beer doesn't light on fire.
we have some corn whiskey. That's pretty darn flammable.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That'll be a couple of silver. Or do you want to run a tab?
What was that, Shikamaru? You're treating?
Amaru, that is the kindest
That is really nice.
done today.
All right, Shikamura plops
You
a
know what?
gold piece
If
on
that's the case-
the counter and says, "Yes, buy my friends whatever they want." I go find his character sheet, delete some gold.
Who's the guy we're supposed to be looking for?
Right
Right
now you're
now we're
talking-
looking for Ornthor Froome, but Leosin is also Leosin. Can't remember his last name. Something. Erlenthar. Erlanther.
Right,
That is correct.
Yes.
Erlenthar.
All right. Does anybody have what they would call, I don't know, charisma? I have 0.
Our charisma guy's gone, so I'm gonna just go with this. Excuse me, sir. What's your name? I have a few questions I'd like to ask, but it's customary to know. a
Oh, I'm
person's
the
name.
innkeep here of the Bucking Stag. My name's Robert.
Robert, I'm Daru. We've just traveled from Greenrest. Took us a while to get here. Um, I appreciate the drink.
Greenrest, I've never heard of it.
I have a stutter. R's come out of nowhere. Greenest.
Oh yeah, south
There's-
of here, a couple hundred miles. Wow, that's a long trip.
Yeah, my mouth is so dry that it sounded like there was a rest in there, but it was just est. Uh, I
Well, drink up,
apologize.
lad. There's another ale where that one came from.
Thank you.
I'll take an ale with one of those other drinks in the ale.
I pretend to drink the first one slowly
Uh,
and let
Okay.
a little bit slip through, but it looks like I'm drinking a lot. Oh, that was good. Okay, thank you. So we're here looking for Orenthar Froome. Do you know this man?
why yes.
We
Order
have-
of the Gauntlet.
Yes, we have business with him.
Oh yeah. Tough human. Great group, that group. Always looking for a fight, always looking for fun. My
Ah.
kind of folks.
We have a companion who's very much like that. We'd like to find them. Where could we locate them?
Oh, well he hangs out at the tavern called the Pair of Black Antlers. Wait, I guess I found yours.
They're contagious.
Very deer centric in this town.
They are. Well, it's probably their main source of meat next to cow and fish. Why, yes. He says that they kind of headquarters. They headquarters at a tavern. It's just up the tradeway here through the center of town. You just go to the north of the town. When you come to the fountain, hang a left, and it's right down the road there.
Thank you, sir. And I'm
Moving on, we are.
gonna put 3 silvers down on the bar as gratitude for his
And
assistance.
he says, "Well, thank you kindly." That's a decent tip. So you don't know where it is. What's next?
Okay. I guess it was just me and Freeze at the counter at that point because
And Shikamaru are there.
that's right,
Was
because he was
there.
paying. All right.
He bought, yes.
Yeah. So I say, all right, guys, let's go find this next inn. Pub crawl.
Pub crawl.
Pub crawl.
So work our way
Is
out.
there any pubs between here and the Black and Horns or whatever?
Black Antlers.
Jesus Christ, write stuff
That
down,
too.
man.
So as you walk through towns, bustling town, lots of trade, lots of shops, high end and low end. Frieza, you definitely sense that you might be able to find a few things here, and your sword is pointing out various shops that have interesting things in it. There's a large weaponsmithing area, and there's jewelers. I mean, it's basically got it all. And But as you walk north up through town, and then it's probably a good quarter mile or so that you walk down the main road, and then you hit a fountain, and just like you described, it's kind of a crossroads. The roads go north, south, east, and west, and you hang a left and go west. And sure enough, you see a sign not very far down there that shows a buck with 2 black antlers on it.
Guys, I think the pair of black antlers probably might be in that building with that buck over there with the 2 black antlers. It seems like a good place to start looking for it.
It's too obvious.
Wow.
All right.
So I start
Do you
walking
go in?
towards it. I start walking towards it.
Okay.
I go in.
You see, there's a bunch of guys, different kind of bar. This is a bar of people who tend to solve things directly and physically. It is. I won't say it's a biker bar because it's not that bad, but but this is full of a rough and rowdy, good-natured crew, and a lot of toasting, a lot of enjoying, and you notice in there that
Are there
there
a bunch
seems
of
to be a
shirtless
number.
men all over the place with like beards and assless chaps? Is this the kind of bar we walked into?
No,
Okay, all right.
no.
Because I'm about to turn around and walk out.
These men have beards
Okay.
and lots of muscles and lots of metal on.
So I'm going to. Are we all together?
Yes.
Well, that's
Yeah, I'm beelining it straight to the bar, ordering a beer and whiskey, and I'm gonna point to Shakira and be like, "You'll have an appletini."
The barkeep like gives you a smile at the beer and whiskey and a confused look at the appletini.
I agree. I tell him we're confused too. Let's just move on with the beer and whiskey.
All right, beer and whiskey for everybody. You notice a lot of these guys have symbols of a glove holding a sword, like holding the middle of a sword, like sideways. The sword is east and west, and the glove is in a fist, going straight up. They all seem to be wearing a similar symbol.
I turn to a guy on the stool next to me. I go, "Hey, buddy, what's that symbol on your vest there? What is
It's
that
the Order
for?"
of the Gauntlet. The member of that's what I'm a member of.
The Order of the Gauntlet.
Yes.
What's that?
It's faith, vigilance, and fighting evil. That's what we do.
I like what you guys have to stand for.
Yep,
You-
we take our mailed fist and apply it to the face of evil wherever we find it.
I kind of look over at Mr. Blinkley. Ask him if that guy we're looking for is here.
That's a good idea. Hey, sir, do you know a chap by the name of Laosin?
Ornthar from.
Ornthar Froome?
Leosin, I don't know, but Ornthar Froome is our leader. In fact, that's him right over there.
Is it really? Well, I'm gonna have to go. Oh, I see him. Let's go have a chat with him.
So Ornthar, that's what he looks like right there.
Yeah.
So get a good look because he's the leader, or at least in this area, the leader of the Order of the Gauntlet. And he looks pretty formidable. He's got full plate on and big guy. I mean, he's not super tall, but he's as wide as he is tall. And he's holding court over in the other side of the bar, telling some story, and his booming voice and a lot of laughter, and they're having a good time.
Okay. Thanks.
I'm totally gonna fight the urge to do like a high five on his belly plate with the other hand. I'm suppressing the shit out of that feeling.
You probably have to
Okay.
roll a saving throw not to do that, right?
Uh,
Just kidding.
Your sword thinks you ought to go do it, but he also cautions you that this guy's a lot tougher than he looks, and he looks pretty tough. So you see him over there. He's holding court. He's got a drink in his hand. Looks like the mug is pretty empty.
Ah, all right.
I order a. Oh, you got this, Joe? Or you got this, Mr. Blink?
You could. I eye over to Daru, and then I give him the eye to look over and show him that that's the guy we're looking for. Then I look back at Daru.
Okay.
Okay.
I noticed the empty drink in his hand, and I asked the bartender, "Excuse me, sir, what is Ornthar drinking?"
I would like to interject with a quick suggestion before the bartender can answer that, and maybe Shakira can bring him over a white wine spritzer.
And I make sure to not hear that.
Okay. Well, what any good man would drink: ale and maybe whiskey.
Can I get one?
One?
Sorry. Can I get one of each?
Certainly.
What's the cost on that?
Few coppers. It's not that expensive. If you throw a silver piece on the bar, you'll cover the drinks. In fact, if you throw gold on the bar, you could probably buy drinks for all of the people he's talking to as well.
Let's go ahead and do one of them gold pieces.
Okay. The innmaster
and around
immediately
for the house.
around for the house. That's good. He immediately shouts, "Around for the house from these gentlemen right here!" And everybody looks up and they all cheer. And he's already handed you the beer and or the ale and the whiskey.
All right, I take them and start walking my way over to Onthar, holding him up so he could see that I'm bringing him alcohol.
And his big smile on his face, but also a little bit of wariness and confusion. You know, he doesn't know who you are. But he watches you come over.
All right, and as I approach, I say, "Onthar, we've come
That's
from
me, lad.
we've come from Greenest. I believe you know Leosin Erland. God, too far away.
Erlenthar.
Erlenthar.
Yeah, Leosin, my good buddy. Yes, I know him quite well.
He's
he told
rescued
me
me
to expect a group of travelers. Are you them?
We are them. He had saved me, and we're here to repay the favor. I wasn't sure what you were drinking, so I've brought you two. Have them both. One is ale,
good
one
lad.
is whiskey.
Craig's having fun.
What is this?
Oh, just wait till I tell him what he had to do. He will never be late again.
Where were we?
Yeah, lad, you just dumped the whiskey in the beer, you down the whole thing like this. And then he proceeds to do exactly that. He dumps the little shot of whiskey, shot glass and all, straight into the beer and chugs it. Wipes the foam away from his beer, says, "It's like me mother's milk."
I stare at him unimpressed.
I burst out laughing.
Yeah, I'm grabbing another
Okay.
round for me.
Yeah, he's a loud and rambunctious. Come here and sit and tell me about your travels. Tell me about your trip. Tell me about your fight against the cult. We all like to hear stories like that.
I'm not one for bragging. I leave that to our friend over here, Frieza.
I'm making my way over with 2 beers and shots.
Cosmo.
Okay, Cosmo. All right, so
Frieza, tell
the
this man.
waitresses are running around with lots of beer around, and the bar is getting decidedly rowdy because everybody's enjoying it and having a good
I put it
time.
down in front of him, and I look at him, and I go, 1, 2, 3, go.
He says, "I take your challenge, son." So you're racing to see who can down it first.
Yeah, what should I roll?
Roll a d20. He'll do the same. Oh, you might beat him.
Twice as fast.
Oh, you
Boom.
beat him hands down. It's like, oh, we can't be having that. And he waves at the bar and says, set us up again. So a few minutes later, the bartender comes over and has them all set, and he gives you an eye. He says, lad, you up to trying again?
Ah, damn it.
5 gold on Frieza.
Oh, you won it.
Yeah!
Somebody took you up on it. So the night passes on, and you spend most of the afternoon there, and you tell stories, and they tell stories, and you're all shit-faced, basically. Yeah, D&D drinking games. That's exactly it. I don't even have a glass of wine in front of me. I gotta fix that here soon. And you know, you can tell these are martial kind of guys. They like to, they like to arm wrestle. They like contests of physical contests. They like to talk about fights they've had. Yeah, these are rough, tough, and ready kind of guys, but good-hearted, good folks to know. And you can see as the evening goes on that Onthar is eyeing you with much favor, I guess you could say. And so as the
Knew it was
evening
those kind of
progresses, he offers you rooms at his inn. This isn't exactly his inn, but it's their place, and there's room. And so he says, "Would you like to stay here, lads? And in the morning we'll take a wee ride and talk business."
Okay, but no butt stuff.
I should not be riding a horse in my condition, so I'm taking them up on this offer, unless they have some kind of horse like Uber.
Uber.
It's actually
Yeah.
a cow service. It's Moober.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's right. The
ouch.
bad jokes are
Oh.
here.
Oh,
Donkey
that
service,
is awful. Ah, even he looks at you with disfavor with that one. Wow.
So
Sometimes,
clearly,
sometimes you get the horns, I guess.
Frieza's this guy's favorite.
Yeah, well, he likes Frieza. He recognizes another fighter. He's not super impressed with his demonic origins, but he's able to look past that. He likes you, Mr. Blink, because you're just a charismatic kind of guy. He
Right on.
doesn't know what to make of Daru. He does, and elves, yeah, he can take them or leave them. Leosin is one, so he doesn't necessarily get out of track with Frieza or with Shikamaru. Sorry. So
Right on.
basically, yeah, nobody's going anywhere. You've got rooms here, and I think you pile off to bed. And I need to move this along so we can introduce our newest character.
Okay.
We're basically in the morning. You go for a ride, and he shows you some of the land. You can tell, you feel like you're on an interview a little bit. And at some point, you chat throughout the day. You talk about what you did in Green Nest. He asks you what you did with the dragon eggs. And when you tell him you left him with the city to deal with, he frowns a little bit. And he says, well, I would have just smashed the damn things. But I suppose that's the next best thing. And he talks a lot about the cult of the dragon. He's interested in everything you've heard and know. And as the day goes on and you start riding kind of back towards town, he tells you that Leosin will be meeting us tonight in the inn, and that the two of them would like to discuss next steps with you tonight.
You cut out.
Did I cut out?
You cut out.
Fuck. He says Leosin will be meeting you back in the bar or back in the inn, and he and Leosin would like to discuss next steps with you over dinner, and he's buying. So that night, when you get into
Before he
the
goes,
bar and over dinner,
before he
Oop,
goes,
go ahead.
I ask if he has any suggestions for places to get potions or anything else in the town.
He does, and he knows a really good armorer, and then he knows a good apothecary. And said when we get back to town, if you'd like to do some of that, they can he give you directions to it.
Okay. I'll take you up on that.
Okay. All right. So over dinner that night, by the way, Leosin is there, and Leosin greets all of you effusively. He's very happy to see you, and very happy to hear that that the camp was cleared, that you nailed a couple of their leaders, that you have captured one of their leaders was huge. And he talks a little bit about through the vine. He's already heard some of what they've gotten out of Frulam, and some of the interrogation and the dragon's eggs. He was happy that the dragon's eggs weren't smashed, because nature should take its course. At that, Arnthar Froome frowns a little bit, but he doesn't say anything. Erlanther explains to you that that he represents an organization known as the Harpers. You may have heard about the Harpers. They're pretty famous. They're kind of like the most worst kept secret in the world. They're a secret organization that everybody knows about. But essentially, what is generally known about the Harpers is that as a group, they're dedicated to furthering the equality and justice, and keeping power from the hands of those that don't deserve it or don't wield it properly. They're not necessarily a good organization, but they tend to be very firmly on the good side. And the organization tends to roam all across the land, from city to city and town to town. They attach themselves to caravan and wagon trains. They ride around. They know the druids of all the woods. They maintain a large network, and they just kind of keep tabs on what's going on in the land, and then try to make sure that evil and abuse of power doesn't happen wherever they can. He said they're loosely organized. Their agents basically have a wide freedom of action. And in fact, he was in Greenest investigating rumors of the dragon cult. He'd done extensive research trying to figure out what they were doing, because something has changed. He describes much of what you know, but to get it out on the table, that the dragon cult originally was 100% focused on creating what they know as Draco liches, or dragon liches. And so they would create these undead dragon, wizards, if you will, and increasing the power of the dragons that way. And this new breakaway, if you will, within the cult of the dragon, in terms of trying to summon Tiamat, is something very new, and they really don't know much about it. It doesn't line up with the traditional values and direction of the cult of the dragon, so not much is known. So he talks a little bit about what they know, and he also knows that the wagons that left the raiding camp are on their way to Baldur's Gate. And again, we're on the main map. Baldur's Gate is to the west of El Terrell, a couple hundred miles, another couple hundred miles along the trade route, and that he believes that the wagons of the raiding camp will go there. The other bit is Arnthar Froome talks a little bit about the Order of the Gauntlet, and his group emphasizes faith, goodness, good deeds, and the constant struggle against the threats of evil. A lot of their members are paladins, clerics, fighters. They have a lot of discipline. They're more structured, more hierarchical than the Harpers. They tend to be the knights, if you will, riding together into battle. They don't necessarily sneak around. They tend to be quite a bit more direct in their means and their methods. But both groups, and as leaders in both of those groups, each of them are speaking to you and imploring you to help them investigate more about the cult of the dragon. The top concern is that, of this whole Tiamat thing. Why?
Cut out.
Sorry.
Come back.
I'm back. Why are they gathering all the treasure? Do they have a chance at summoning Tiamat into the world? They don't know much about Tiamat, but I mean, it's a god, and basically, when gods walk the planet, the rest of us humankind suffer horribly. It's a world-ending event if they can do us, and they know they're up to something, and it's really big. So they, along with another allied group called the Emerald Enclave, are working together to try to figure out what the cult is up to and to try to figure out a way to stop them. Daru, you recognize the Emerald Enclave as basically a group of druids. It's another group organized mostly around protecting nature in the forests. So they look at you and offer you a chance to join their factions. They also offer support and help if you're willing to continue the investigation into the cult of the dragon. For example, the horses that Orlanthar had arranged for you are just an example of that kind of aid. Anthar also says he could put the good word in at the apothecary as well if there's some needs there that you need to be met. So what they're basically asking you to do at this point is to travel onto Baldur's Gate and get there before the raiders do, before the cult does. Baldur's Gate is unique. The topography of the area, the city rises in height about 200 feet across the length of the city. And the roads are extremely narrow and steep. Think San Francisco. So every wagon from every direction coming into the city is unloaded and hand ported up to the other side and then loaded on wagons and horses and carried on. So everything has to stop at Baldur's Gate. They do not allow wagons, horses, anything, not even a dog, to come into the city. And so basically everything south and east of the city gets basically all decamped, carried through the city, and then re-caravanned north of the city, and same going the other direction. So there's a really good opportunity. If you hang around towards the north, you'll see you can see the cult come in, and what they want you to do is join their caravan. Lads, I think if you ask around, I'll give you a contact in the city, but you can hire on as guards of the caravan they eventually join. We need to know where they're going and what they're doing with all this treasure. And so if you can beat them there and watch for them and then hire on to the caravan that they eventually try to get involved with north of Baldur's Gate, we can find out where they're going and what they're doing and find out more about their plans. So can I count on you fellows?
Sounds like a lot more work than I want to do.
Is it paying
What do you guys?
anything?
Yeah, what do you guys think?
I don't like to group up a lot if I can help it.
I mean, I'm down for staying in the bar for a couple more years.
You
Maybe.
guys got like a dues system or something? You're gonna be taking percentages out of my paycheck? What are we talking about here?
Well, there's no pay for these groups. You're a member of it because you believe in the ideals
Oh, okay. It's an ideal.
and that you want to be a part of saving the world.
Yeah, I get you there. What are you saving the world from exactly? The evil cultists?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure we're on the same side and we're not joining the wrong team here. Guys.
How far away is this?
Baldur's Gate is another 220 miles.
220 miles. Do you know what I just went through?
And that's just to get there before, but along the road. But then
I'll never
you're
be
going to
able to
join
do
the
that.
caravan.
That visual of Shakira dancing with his ass. I'm not gonna get that on my head.
Do you have any ointments, healing balms? This is gonna be one hell of a ride on my ass. I'm just
So-
leveling with you.
Phrasing.
Yeah. Well, the apothecary could probably settle that. Boys,
You cut out.
god damn this button anyway.
Why don't you take push to talk off for this?
I don't know how. Hold on.
Oh,
In your user settings in Discord.
I only have a mine because I keep coughing.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I don't know how to do that. Remember
User
list.
settings under voice and video.
All right, hey guys, why don't we huddle up and have a quick powwow? What do you
All
think?
right, all right, all right.
all right.
Not that they use that term here, but I am. Thoughts?
All right, can you
Alright.
hear me better now?
Yeah, but you can't hear us right now because we're having a powwow.
We're powwowing,
Okay.
but yes,
I've turned off push to talk.
There you go.
cool.
All right. So what do you guys
Alright.
think? Should we continue on with this, or should we just let the dragons destroy everything and we'll go off and start a shop somewhere?
I like the idea of a leather shop.
Right?
I don't like dragons.
I
And-
don't like fire.
And the other thing, this is the pros cons. All right, cons death. Right,
Right.
that's kind of a con.
But we don't know how long it's
Pro.
gonna take. We could look. The death thing could be long after we're already dead.
No, but I mean we get killed.
Yeah, that's definitely
Earlier.
a con. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd
And
put that on a
but
cons.
pros.
Echo wants to know if we'd be famous.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like pros.
Hmm.
You know, fame, fortune,
I'm really not concerned
and we
with
get
that
to kill a
myself.
ton of shit.
Do we
Yeah.
live in a time of paparazzi?
But I mean, if we make a poison shop, we get the same thing.
Well, only
Like,
we're
that's
exceptionally.
infamy and fortune.
Mm.
Echo
yeah.
likes the idea of killing dragons.
Yes, Echo. We know you hate dragons.
I mean,
we
let's
get
be-
it.
If we are successful at that, right? Mr. Blink can get his ass rubbed by anybody. Anywhere, anytime
Well,
he
he's
wants
already a
that.
folk hero, so
DiCaprio?
if he just goes back to his town, I'm sure he's got plenty of ass rubbers there.
Yeah, but do you really want those ass rubbers?
I want
I guess not.
DiCaprio.
I mean, they got
Alright,
they've
alright.
been like milking sheep and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well,
Whatever the fuck
I
you
mean,
melt.
look, I can't stop here. I still have to find a place for to spread Daru's seed.
Gross.
Every time. Every time I just shake my head. What does Shakira think? I like the idea. Let's do that.
Of course you do, you good-hearted sissy boy.
I
All right.
All right.
do the right
I
thing.
guess
Alright,
we can help him
We'll
out with
have
this
to
one.
help save the world, I guess. Yeah, count us in.
Excellent. You've done a great job so far. I think you'll continue to do a great job. We will, in the meantime, when you start finding out where they're going, we'll start gathering resources and of our organizations and start trying to oppose them wherever they are. So here's the issue.
What,
No
sir?
frustration. You guys can be a poison shop. I'm gonna roll
Most
straight
boring
ones and you'll
D&D
be
ever.
yeah,
So
you'll
today
be-
we made a
you'll be-
potion that
yeah,
Hey, nobody wants to come and buy our stuff.
yeah, exactly. You'd all roll ones for the rest of your life and die horrible deaths. So basically, the wagons headed west to pick up the Coastway Road.
Just-
so the
just real quick.
wagons,
just
Yes.
out of game or out of character. Eric, do you see what you're getting yourself into here?
Yeah. This is pretty interesting.
That's
It's,
going
uh,
for like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
It's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
All right, let's get him in.
so the wagons are following the coast road up by Bergerest up to Baldur's Gate. And you have to beat them. You have to beat them to Baldur's Gate, but they have a trip of 500 plus miles from the camp around, and that's going to take them, 25 or 30 days. They left a day or two before you got to the camp. You were in the camp for a day. You were in Green Nest for 2-3 days, and then it took you 4 days for 5 days here. So you've got about 15 days to get to Baldur's Gate. Again, along the coastal road, it's a ride on your horses of 3 days. So you can be there probably at least a week to 2 weeks ahead of those wagons and keep an eye out for them. And so what you should really do is you can also ride the river down. If you'd rather do that, I can arrange for transportation on one of the boats going down river to Baldur's Gate.
I was actually gonna ask about the river. Like, what kind of river is it? Is it like
It's a big one. I mean, it's like
the Mississippi
think
type
the
of thing?
Mississippi.
It's a
Lots of
wet
boat
river.
traffic. Yeah,
Okay.
think
There's dry
Mississippi.
rivers.
Again, think Mississippi. A lot of boat traffic. The river's probably a mile wide.
I effing hate water, but it beats seeing anything ever happen with Mr. Blink's ass again.
Indeed.
Something like that.
Either that
So-
or we're taking that 3-day trip in 5.
I'm good with the river too.
Yeah.
Okay. They will arrange transportation on the river. They ask if you want to bring your horses.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, can do that. So your contact in Baldur's Gate is a human trader named Akin Celebon, Akyn, Celebon, Selebon. And he operates an equipage business in the outer city north of the city wall in a district called Blackgate. And basically what he does is he sells all of the gear needed for long distance freight hauling. Think, rope, wagons, netting, grease, chains, wheels, all of that.
Pallets.
Yep. He also repairs wagons. And although he's not directly involved in hiring guards for the caravans, he knows everybody who is. So, and they give you a seal and a letter to take with you to present to him. And basically, he says if he vouches for you, you should have no trouble getting hired on as guards for a northbound caravan. So what you should do is keep an eye out for the cultists as they come in from the south into the city. They'll have to unload all of their wagons. They'll have to carry whatever they're carrying through the city to the north side and get back on a caravan as they head north. We want you to follow them all the way to Waterdeep if need be. So the 2 biggest towns in the land on this side of it are actually the 3 biggest towns are Neverwinter, Waterdeep, and Baldur's Gates. Those are huge towns. 100,000 plus people.
Okay.
Okay, big towns. So they're the biggest towns in the land. So Baldur's Gate, that town's probably covers 10 miles across. I mean, with the surrounding communities and such, the big town itself is probably, a mile long, mile by a mile.
Okay.
Lots of walls, lots of districts, if you will, that sort of thing.
How long's a boat ride gonna take?
About a couple days, 2 days. Depends on whether you pull up at night or not.
Do we get to? We're not
Are
on
we
the boat
piloting
yet,
the
right?
boat?
No, they'll hire somebody to boat
Okay,
you
good.
down there.
But we're not on the boat yet, right? We still have like the
No,
apothecary
no,
to visit.
you're still in the room planning, making
Okay,
plans.
I'm just making sure of this.
Yeah.
I'm just saying everything's more fun when you're on a boat.
Mm-hmm.
So what we really need to know, guys, is where exactly this treasure is going and what the cult is doing with it. Those are the next 2 questions we need to answer and really need to know where it's going, so we can try to stop them and rip this weed out by its roots. So they're very happy that you did it. They said it'll take a day or 2 to get the boat arranged, so you have a couple of days in town to do things before you get back on the road again.
All right.
Sounds good.
You can find really good cigars.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep working on my list. So you guys can just keep doing what you're
Okay.
doing. I have a lot of.
Oh, I heard somebody wanted to go see an apothecary.
Yes, please.
Okay. You can go to the I don't know what CLP is.
That's clean, lube, and protect. So
Oh my God. You need to go to an armorer, one of the best in
oh yeah, I'll
town.
be roaming this town getting all sorts of shit done.
Yeah. All right. All right. And what do you need at the apothecary, Mr. Blink?
Good sir. Might I trouble you?
You may, if you've got the coin.
I've got the coin. Do you have the time? I'm looking for some healing potions. Do you have any?
Oh, those are quite expensive, but perhaps
What are you getting for healing potions these days?
we get 100 gold each.
Ooh, 100 gold. Really? I gotta tell you, the apothecary at Boulder's Gate, he's giving me to go the same potion for 65 gold.
Then you can ride 220 miles over there and go get them.
Really? I expected more from a town we're trying to help save. That
They don't know that.
Great, now you
ooh.
scared him.
Well, you should be scared, sir, because I'm telling you, death is coming from above. Now give me those pots for 65, or we're gonna have a problem.
I could see perhaps 90.
90. How many do you have?
I have 4.
You have 4. 90. What do you think, boys?
Oh, I'm off getting polished.
Okay, so just yeah, that's what.
You or the sword.
No, I'm getting polished to polish it.
Okay,
Like, let someone else touch them. What are you trying to do, people?
Yeah, that's what I said. What's getting polished, you or the sword?
Oh yeah, I already had that happen.
All right.
give me 2, please.
All right. You have 2. He has other potions.
What other potions do you have?
Oh, I have a very rare one. Turns you invisible.
Invisibility potion. I've heard of that. What does that go for these days?
250 gold.
Oh, you're breaking my balls here. You're breaking my balls. 250 gold. That's a little steep. I'm a
Wow.
sorcerer. It's
For
in my
you,
spell
my
book.
friends, maybe 200, but that's as low as I can go.
I'll have to talk to some of my buddies who don't have the ability to go invisible. But anything else?
No, sir. Glad to do business with you.
All
130
right.
gold, and go ahead and put 2 potions of healing in.
Okay.
That one sale probably set him up for a year.
All right.
Do we have like a?
I
place
walk
where
in. I walk in afterwards.
Okay.
And as I walk in, I let the door slam behind me to draw his attention.
Okay. He looks up. He has guards, by the way, so
I'm
I
not
wouldn't get too risky.
not getting violent. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. In my
How
fake
can I
deep,
help you?
in my fake deep voice, because I'm normally soft spoken.
Mm-hmm.
I've come on urgent business from Anthar. He sent me to procure some healing potions for him.
Oh, Anthar.
Aye.
Okay. I've got
He's
2 left.
only 2.
Only 2 left. I just sold a couple. I didn't know that he needed them, or I would not have sold them, but I've got 2 left.
He's not going to be happy. I'm not paying full
Well,
price for these if there's only 2, because I'll have to find another shop and can't get a discount. for bulk
For
purchasing.
Onthar, I sell them to Onthar for 50 gold each.
What?
I will do that.
Okay, give Onthar my blessing and tell him that where you got him from, and tell him that I appreciate all that he does for us in this town.
I will send word ahead next time to make sure you do not sell off your supply.
That would be good. It's gonna be months before I get the ingredients to make more.
Have a good day, sir.
Am I still in the
And you
room?
too. No, you're gone. You already left.
Fuck
You know,
your charisma.
charisma is not the same thing as intelligence. Just
Yep.
saying.
It's not the same thing as writing down notes.
Exactly. All righty then. So
So I've now got my 3
I
tokens.
thought it was
Mr.
going
Blake,
so well.
you have this big pair of donkey ears growing out of your head. No, never mind.
Yep, my nose is huge.
Yeah. All right. So Ken, you can put 2 more healing pots on
Okay.
your character. Frieza, you managed to procure very nice cigars. You've got about 50 of them in your backpack. You've got a couple of quarts of whiskey. Whatever a message is.
Massage.
That would be an MASS.
Yeah.
You wanted a message.
I don't know what the vial of polish is
so.
for.
For the sword.
Okay, okay.
From the
Yes.
massage.
Yes.
Oh, steak
And the sword you took it to, I'm taking to an armorer to be sharpened and the finest whetstones and blah, blah, blah. So all of that is going to cost you about, let's see, the cigars you can get for probably the nice ones, they're probably about 3-4 silver each. So 50 of those would be, call it 150 silver, 15 gold. Couple of quarts of whiskey, it's probably 5 gold each, up to 25 gold. The rest of it, probably all told, you're up to about 30 gold.
Cool.
And you have what you want, and the sword's happy too because it looks nice, shiny, been babied, ready to go kill something.
Same here.
Shikamaru, he's basically done all of the stuff that he's done, and after a couple of days, unless you guys have any other business in town, you find out that the captain of basically a barge, it's a barge with a sail on it, is and a bunch of oars is ready for you to come on board.
I
Any
walk
other
on.
business?
Yep. No. I'm getting on the boat.
All right. The horses really don't like being on the boat, so it takes a little bit of effort to get them on and settle down and kind of in the center of the barge. But
While we're doing that, to get that to go easier, I'm gonna just kindly whisper to my horses, all the horses, and let them know that it's okay. I'm here with them, and
Okay.
everything will be fine.
do you have animal handling as a skill, by the way?
Not in this game. Whoa.
I do.
Okay.
Would you
Roll
like me
me.
to roll it?
Yes, please. Oh boy.
That's what I'm
Easy.
talking about. And
Let's
that's
see.
because I have
What's your armor class?
14.
Spectacular.
Oh, never mind. One of the horses is not buying what you're selling there, and he tries to kick you right in the nuts.
I
But
bet
he
it was
missed.
Shikamaru's.
Yeah, he missed, and but he kicked at you, and he starts rearing and bouncing all around, and basically being a gigantic pain in the ass.
Shaniqua, get your horse under control.
Yeah. So it takes you about an hour to get them. You got to hobble the horses, and in the case of this one, you actually have to blindfold it before it settles down, and you get it in between 2 other horses that kind of hold it steady, and it eventually calms down. And the captain, if you're finally ready, good sirs, let's get on the road or get on the river.
On the water.
Yep, get on the water. So thankfully, the water flows towards the sea, so he doesn't it's kind of slow, so he puts up the sail, but he doesn't have to run out the oars. You guys are the only ones on the boat.
All right.
And so let me roll one more. See if you got an encounter. I doubt it. Nope.
You guys like Jimmy Buffett?
Yeah, Margaritaville.
Yeah, every time we get on a
Cheeseburger,
boat, man.
paradise. Yeah,
Get that Margaritaville going.
just don't get on the fucking boat or whatever that song is.
Ooh, the whiskey.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Make the trip relatively quietly. Cracks open the whiskey. Yeah. It is one of the more relaxing 200 miles you've ever done in your life because you're not asked to do anything but fight off the bad guys if they choose to show themselves, and nothing does.
At any
Alright.
point in time, does Echo sense any kind of treasure or anything of interest that we should check out?
No,
Stupid river.
no. Surprisingly enough, there's probably stuff that has sunk, but doesn't talk about it much. Okay, so you get to Baldur's Gate pretty much without any problems. You're on the south side of town. Just to give you a perspective, Baldur's Gate is divided into essentially 3 distinct segments. The upper city is where the richest and most influential people live, and it's where the marketplace is. It's called the Wide. The lower city, which surrounds the harbor and where most of the city's merchants live and conduct their business, so that's on the ocean side. So the the western and southern part of the city. And then the third district is the outer city, which lies outside of the walls of the city, and it's where most of the city's laborers and employees type folks live. And each one of these areas have various neighborhoods that go from really well-to-do to outright squalid. So you guys have, you think you have about a week before their caravan, before the cultists' caravan shows up. So you've got some time to go make your contacts and to start scoping it out and figuring out how to set yourselves up to be guards in the same caravan that they're going to be in when they go to the north side of Baldur's Gate.
I choose retcon.
Ah, there he is.
Hey, look who
I look
shows up.
over. Hey!
Yay!
Shikamama Hanama Fanara Hamanu.
Are you all drunk or something?
Not
No,
yet.
we're not.
Well, for how much alcohol you bought tonight?
Yeah,
A
well,
lot of white wine spritzers.
Frieza is he poked Shikara with a javelin. Shikamaru, you've bought lots of alcohol in the last couple hours.
It's a good thing I haven't distributed my gold for everyone yet.
Yeah, well, you paid a
Oh,
fair
I
amount.
blew a ton of it.
Yeah, we
Oh,
blew,
God.
everybody's basically broke now. You were nice enough to volunteer to massage Mr. Blink's ass after he got
Yeah.
the first 60-mile
What
horse
the
ride.
fuck?
You didn't really
I had a-
volunteer.
Because well,
It's a hemorrhoid issue.
you think you volunteered,
Yeah.
Oh
and
my lord.
you vaguely remember Daru waving his hands and chanting some mysterious words, and then you were only too happy to give his ass the best massage it's ever had.
Champion work, man.
And he appreciated it too.
Almost
But-
tipped you.
Well, you would have if he'd have gave you a reach around, but that you didn't ask for it, so that
Wrong
didn't
kind of tip.
happen. Anyway, so you have traveled north to El Terrell. You have talked with Onthar Froome and Leosin. You have basically agreed to ride to Baldur's Gate so that you could wait for the cultist caravan to arrive at Baldur's Gate. At Baldur's Gate, all caravans from the south and east have to be unloaded, manually carried through the city, and reloaded on new wagons north of the city, because the city is basically built on a cliff, and so all the roads are steep and narrow and can't really don't really allow wagons through or horses or anything else. The city ordinance don't allow even for you to carry a dog through the city, never mind a horse or a wagon.
Oh wow.
And they like it that way because it keeps everybody employed and they tax the shit out of everything going every direction. Baldur's Gate is one of the 3 biggest cities along the Sword Coast. Huge city. And you got a contact there from Anthar Froom, who will help set you up to perhaps be guards for a caravan heading north out of Baldur's Gates that includes the cultists. You know that based on the writings that they have, that they're carrying the treasure north to Waterdeep, which is a trip if you run your thing. It's about 750 miles. It's going to be about 270 from there, 270 to there, and then about 80 more. So a long trip. 550 to 600 miles.
It's a long trip.
Okay. All right. So we are just arriving at Baldur's Gate, and again, if you didn't write it down, your contact is a human trader on the north side of the city named Akin Celeban. And at this point, give me 2 minutes to go grab a glass of wine, and then we'll figure out what you're doing next.
Okay. Be right back.
It's been a really fun night. We were about to open up a poison shop in town and just say fuck it to the adventuring.
Hey.
I mean, they were just asking
Well,
too
I mean,
much.
we got to do something after this adventure, right?
Right? Yeah. And what else happened? Besides you, Kurt kindly volunteering to massage Joe or Mr. Blink.
And then cutting my hands off and re-rolling a new character.
Well, better you than the rest of us.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
Welcome back.
Did we decide what we're doing?
I mean, we're pretty much going towards the trade district.
Okay. So as you go through the city, big city, lots of, I mean, all the big city stuff. It's got squalor and everything, but you have to check in at the guard post, basically on along the trade route south of the river. They take your name and your occupation and basically give you a little wooden pass that allow you in the city. Because you have no items, horses, they tell you your horses cannot go through the city, and they direct you to a stable that may purchase your horses if you wish, or you can trade them for horses north of the city as well for a slight fee.
Why doesn't one of us just ride the horses around?
You could.
I like that idea better.
Well, we wouldn't be able to ride all the horses. Wouldn't we have to lead them?
Well, just tie a rope to each one connected to the other one, and they follow behind. They're horses. They're not going to do anything.
Sorry, I'm not an equestrian, so I don't know much about this stuff.
Oh,
There's not a lot of
I've
horses in my forest.
Yes,
No worries.
you can, and you can even see a trail where that happens. The guards warn you that there's risks with banditry and other things as you go around with the horses, and that you'd be perhaps smarter to stable them here and then pick up some other horses north of town.
But Ed,
That's all right. These horses are contaminated. They made me massage the butt, so I'm not really attached to them.
but Ed.
Okay.
All right. I
All right. So what would you guys like? Do you want a chit for horses on the other side, or do you want to just flat out sell them?
I'd say a chip for horses on the other side.
I'm
That's
gonna
What's
just-
it worth?
yeah, I'm gonna
What's it
sell.
worth to sell them?
Oh, the guy looks at them. They're decent horses. I'd give you 25 gold each.
25 gold? Are you out of your mind? These horses are worth 40 if they're worth $1.
Not to me, they're not.
What's $1?
Yeah, what's $1?
Don't question me when I'm bargaining, will you?
Your horses are worth what I tell you. They're worth
I
25
turn my
gold
head and I
no
go,
more.
"What's worth $1? Don't talk to me when I'm bargaining."
This old guy is really not moving off his number, boys. What do you think we should do?
I think we should hold on a second.
Anybody know what the horses are going for up north?
I
Yeah.
heard 50.
They're 50.
Well, no. I'm not asking the guy who's trying to get 25 from me now.
I walk off to the side, and I bring Frieza with me.
Okay.
Frieza, you here?
I think
John-
he went to
John-
go get some whiskey.
So I'm gonna have to wait for Frieza to be here. Doo-doo-doo.
Damn, I can't push to talk from upstairs.
All right. So I bring Frieza off with me, and I say, Frieza, listen, is there any way you can lame most of his horses to increase the value in ours? Don't kill them. I mean, I don't want them being killed.
Like, lame them, then come back tomorrow and be like, how much for ours?
Yeah, like
Because
something.
it'd be a little conspicuous if we lame them all, and then
I'm not really concerned about that. That's you
we
figure
could
that
just
out.
kill the guy and take his money.
Right in front of all the guards in town.
No, we're
How many guards are
whispering.
there?
We went off to this. Why would we go?
No.
Oh,
I'm letting you. This is one of the main trade routes. There's cops everywhere, so to speak. Guardsmen.
I think they're dragon horses.
It's a dragon horse. Would you say dragon force or horse?
Oh, that would be great if they were dragon forces.
Fucking awesome.
Epic.
You guys can take them around.
I gotta pose the question to you guys: do we need the freaking horses if we're gonna be trying to be part of somebody else's whatever?
No, not at all.
Aren't they gonna have horses and carts and shit?
I'm just gonna sell mine here.
Oh, I ain't gonna get this. He's not giving me 25 gold for this fucking horse. He can go fuck himself.
That's what I'm saying. If he doesn't have any good horses, the value goes up. You know what? I'm gonna just take my horse out, and I'm gonna go stand. Yeah, I got it. I got this.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the man
Well-
and say, no, thank you, no, thank you. And then I'm gonna go right outside of the town, outside the gate with my horse. I'm gonna wait for some travelers to be leaving.
Hey, Bart, smart right there.
Okay. Doesn't take long.
Yeah, I'm with
Okay.
him on that.
When I see some travelers leaving, I walk up to them and I say, "Hey, you guys looking to buy a horse?" And I open my coat and no.
Yeah. You get arrested.
Well, you see a merchant there that would love to, because he'd love to buy horses. Goddamn city people charge too much.
Yeah. How much were they trying to get out of you in there?
50 gold.
50 gold. Wow, you got it cheap. They were trying to get 100 out of us to buy horses. We actually just picked these up for 50 gold. But we found out that we can't go where we need to go. We now we're being sent north,
For a guy who grew up in
Oh.
the forest, you're really good at bargaining.
right?
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey,
He says,
there's
"Well,
seeds there.
Yeah.
They had charged them
He's
100
got seed to
seeds.
spread. He keeps telling us.
So lad, how much do you want for your horses?
I mean, make me an offer.
4 of them, you say? 4 horses?
Yeah, we've got 2 more on their way. If you'd like to look at them, the price will have to go up. But for these 2 right now, we'll listen to your offer, and then the other 2 will be along the way.
I'll give you 75 gold for the 2.
I look over at Frieza. Sound good? I think 75 gold will work. Best thing we could do is screw over this city thieving merchants there. You seem like an honest merchant. I think
75
for
gold
both.
it is.
And we have 2 more on their way if you need them.
Well, if they're of the same quality here, I'll give 2.
Give what?
If they're of the same quality as these 2, price is the same, 75 gold for 2 more.
One has even been lotioned with whatever that Bengay stuff that we were talking about.
Liniment.
He's
Liniment.
all lubed.
One
Ready
has
to go.
been coated in liniment to make it easier on your
All right.
riders.
Funny you
72
say
gold.
that.
Might have to subtract for that. They smell bad.
No, as a druid, I found some herbs to mix in with it to make it smell very pleasant.
Rosemary.
Too bad you couldn't find some herbs to help his ass a little while ago.
Still have to rub it in.
Real. True.
Okay. So this is, I guess, the point where we're just waiting to see if the other 2 took our lead and followed us out.
Funny you say that.
Hmm.
Comes the other horse.
Yeah. Kind of like that old joke about the guy who got bit on the tip of his pecker by a rattlesnake. Did you ever hear that one?
Wasn't a joke, and I don't want to talk about it.
I look
No.
over to Shakira and I say, "How did you get that horse to stop limping?"
I kicked it in the fucking head like it's about to kick you in the head.
Oh fuck! I can't even role play that one. They're merching. His ears perk up, limping. What do you mean limping? And he starts checking out all his hooves.
The horse is fine. I guarantee it. A 100% satisfactory guarantee. He's never been more happy in his life.
Oh, that is so rude.
It's fucking awesome.
I'm quitting, guys. I'm out of here.
The merchant knows his horse flesh real well. It is kind of his stock and trade. He sees there's nothing wrong with the horses. And, he has this kind of little smile on his face, but he hands over 75 gold for the other 2. So you guys got a total of 150 gold for your horses.
All right. Well, I think to
Consider
split that
considering the
evenly.
price you paid for them.
I think to split that evenly, I'll give each of you 25 and take the rest for myself.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
Okay,
That
so
fucking hurt.
horses are sold. Let's head on through the town.
All right.
As you go through the town, and they weren't
Wait.
kidding, you can see why they don't have wagons going through the town. The roads are narrow and steep. I mean, like almost need a ladder to climb up some of these roads. They're really steep and twisty, and they go around and narrow. And they're all cobblestoned, and you can just guess, and when it's wet and raining or anything, that they'd be very slick, and a wagon would be uncontrollable in the town. You make your way north of town, and you see that as you come out by the kind of the main gate, and you see a huge assembly area. It's like it's where all the wagons and everything would assemble into caravans, and you see a number of businesses there that equip wagons. There's a bunch of taverns, there's a bunch of inns right around in that area. It does not take you long to find your contact, Aiken Celeban, and because he owns one of the tack and outfitting stores right there. Okay. Celebon, and I'm going to fast forward this because I'm trying to get Eric in and at least an encounter tonight. Celebon lets you basically, if you hang around the taverns, you're in or the tent saloons, around the area. You're sure to see just about everything that comes in for northbound traffic. He says, go ahead and use me as a reference for any potential employer. Basically, every wagon hires 2-3 guards. And the idea is if all the wagons in the caravan each have a couple of guards, then there'll be enough guards for the whole caravan to safely get to wherever we're going. A lot of what we're going through will be really rough and dangerous country. So I'm assuming that you take up some rooms in the inn and spread around.
Spread something around.
Tell me what you're doing for a few days.
Washing my hand.
Yeah,
Still laughing.
no amount of washing.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, lots of shit, actually.
Hey,
All the shit.
hey.
All right. You can see that. Looks like there's a caravan beginning to assemble, but you haven't seen the cultists come by yet.
Okay, I walk over to the caravan.
I mean, you can just again, these things take days to gather up.
Mhm.
You can see a number of merchants. You notice there's a there's a human male merchant. There's a half elf merchant. There's a moon elf merchant. Couple of human males. There's even a gold dwarf, not gold in color, but from where he's from.
Mhm.
And 3 or 4 humans. There look to be also some travelers around that are looking to attach themselves to a caravan as well. So after a few days of kind of being around, you've got a pretty good feel for who the players are in terms of this next caravan.
Okay.
Okay. So within so after a few days, you you spot that the cultists have arrived. You spot people you recognize from the cultist camp walking through. In fact, what's interesting is you watch some of those guards carrying a palanquin, a covered, like like a carriage that people carry instead of horses pull around. It's all curtained up, but each of you give me a perception check, please.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Blink. Okay. Well, Daru and Frieza didn't see anything. Let's see. Shikamaru.
I was looking at my feet.
Yeah. Had to pull up my sheet.
Okay. Mr. Blink and Shikamaru both catch a glimpse of a black half dragon in there, and you recognize that as being Resmir, the leader of the dragon cult down in the camp by Green Nest.
Okay.
So you know that, and you know that, and then you can see some of the guards that were in the camp are carrying chests, and they've got a big long chain of people, like you've seen over and over the past few days, of people carrying what used to be on the wagons south, and you can see them setting up 3 wagons and getting ready to and putting everything on the wagons. But whoever was in that palanquin is kept going. In fact, they went out of sight, out of the north gate, and eventually you see the palanquin make its way back into town, but it's empty. It's been broken down. It's being carried back into town. So whoever was on did not come back into town. They left left heading north. But you can see at least 12 of the guards are sticking around, and they look kind of like they're doing some of the same things you're doing. They're looking to find some wagons, load them up, getting ready to drive them. They look like they're looking for work. So each of you can take a shot at getting hired as a guard.
Okay.
Okay, there is a human merchant that has wagons, a couple of wagons. Looks like he's carrying cured furs and uncured hides. There's a half moon merchant who looks like she's got wagon loads of wood.
Wait, what? Sorry, did you say half moon merchant?
Excuse me, female moon
Moon what?
merchant. A moon elf.
Ah, okay, thank you.
There is a dwarf merchant that looks like he's whatever he's seen inside his wagon, but it smells a lot of scents like perfumes, oils, something like that.
Okay,
There's
before
yep.
anyone approaches anything, I go up and I'm like to each of them, and I'm like, "Here's a bag of gold, and it's worth 266 each."
To each of our characters.
Correct.
Okay.
By the way, yeah, 37.5 gold from our horses each.
Okay.
Okay.
So would you say 260 gold for the bag of gold?
Yeah, that's from our stuff.
So you got about 300 gold each.
No, we have well over that.
Well, less what you've spent so far.
Okay.
All right, and then there's a female human, looks like a teamster. She's got a whole team of horses and mules. Okay, so do each of you would like to try hiring out as a guard?
Sure.
Roll me a d20, each of you.
Man, I'm glad we're not in combat.
Okay.
I wanted to roleplay getting hired.
I rolled a 15.
Yeah, I heard that. All right. Frieza.
I actually rolled a 15, but I can roll one in here if you want me to.
Oh yes,
That would be good.
a 15.
Okay, so Frieza, you've been hired by Werund Torohar, a female human teamster. Werund, Werond. She's cute. She's kind of a starry-eyed romantic, but you can tell that she really knows her wagon. And she's hired you to be one of two guards. The other one appears to be a regular guard.
Cool.
For Daru, you've been hired by Lai Anguston. Lai is his name. He's a male gold dwarf merchant. And you've been hired as a guard. You get 5 gold per 10 day. Plus living expenses.
Sorry, 5 gold every 10
Food.
days.
Yep. And that's the same for you, by the way, Frieza.
All right.
For Shikamaru, you got hired by Edhelri Luel, a female elf merchant. Her wagon's loaded with exotic wood, and you're kind of the sergeant. You're getting 8 gold per 10 day, plus food and living expenses on the road. and you're in charge of 2 other guards. So, and Ed Helry, Edhelri, Lewel, Lewel.
Spell that for me one more time.
Edhelri, Ed Helry, Lewel, Lewel. She's a female moon elf merchant. And what is your race, by the way?
Wood elf.
That's what I thought. You were an elf. So your character sheet doesn't reflect that.
Is it not? Let me fix
It
that.
does not. Yeah, you should fix that. But that's why she hired you, because you're an elf. And Mr. Blink,
Yes.
Whoops.
Mr. Blink, you are been hired by Las Felro the Second, a human male merchant. He's a quiet guy. He's really he walks around like he's got a dark cloud on his head. And you, sir, are hired on as a personal bodyguard for him. You get 10 gold per 10 day plus food and expenses. You're the only person with him, and you notice that the wagon that he's carrying, you have no idea what's in it, but the back of the center of the top of his wagon is guarded by a gargoyle that is tethered to the wagon by a silver chain.
Okay.
Because that's normal.
10 gold a day, every 10 day, 1 gold a
Every
day.
10 days.
I
Yes,
don't really mind it.
something like that.
If you go by 10-day weeks.
So that's the arrangement. You've all gotten hired. Luckily, none of you rolled below 5. So who's in the convoy?
Huh?
There is a Achreny, Achreny, is a merchant. He's got 2 wagons, 2 drivers, 2 guards, and he's hauling furs and uncured hides. There's a half-elf merchant that's hiring. He has no guards at all, but his entire wagon is full of ale, and he's loud and boisterous and talks to everybody and basically says he's going to be the bar that goes with the caravan the entire trip. He's not exactly transporting ale for sale at wherever we get. He's transporting ale for sale to all of us. We are going up the road for the next 50 to 60 days. Then there's Ed Helry, which is the Shikamaru got assigned. She's got exotic wood from the jungle of Cholt in her wagons going to the carpenters and cabinet makers of Waterdeep.
How much you want to bet she's gonna get a little more exotic wood halfway through? I mean, what?
Oh,
He's got
Yeah,
my
she's got
exotic wood. That's for damn sure.
She's
Oh, yeah.
got her eye on, that's for sure. Eli Anguston, the male golf merchant, he's hauling, scented cooking oils and perfumes, and he's avarice to the extreme. He thinks he's going to making lots of money. And then there's Las Felro, the wagon with the gargoyle on it, and not really sure what he's transporting in his wagon. It's never come open, but Blink, you're his personal bodyguard.
Yep.
Then there is a human merchant, Nair Shite. Nair Height, actually, not Shite, but I like Nair Shite better. Nair Shite, when he's got Silk in his wagon, he's got a couple of guards. And then there's and then finally, Frieza, you're with Rund, and she's a female human teamster that is transporting general goods and looks like metal fittings up north to Waterdeep.
Nair Shite would be perfect for Craig.
There you go. So we have a total of
Get out.
no, I'm making sure my
Doing
count's
the
right.
math.
Oh,
Got a total count of 11 wagons. Three of the wagons are the cultists. and there's about a dozen guards, including drivers. So each of the wagons has a driver and 3 guards. Looks like 2 of the cultists did not stay with their wagons, but instead hired on as guards with other wagons in the convoy. There are also a number of travelers, individual travelers going with that have hired, seats on wagons and such. And one of them you can't help but notice is a female human, but she is green from head to foot. Hair, skin, eyes, teeth,
Does
everything
she have
about her
head
is green.
tendrils?
Is green. Not really sure what the deal is with that. And then,
It's
again,
Star Wars Twi'lek. It's a race.
it does kind of look like she's from Orion, was it? What was it? I forget where
Orion's
they were
Belt.
from. No, the green ladies from Rigelian. Was she
Oh,
Rigelian?
from Star Trek.
Star Trek. Yeah,
I forgot what they're from as well.
yeah. But yeah, think that bright green.
Okay.
Come on, guys, we're
And
playing
then
D&D.
there's,
Let's not be too nerdy.
There's a few. There's a gnome and a couple other humans, and all told, there's probably, like I say, 11 wagons, probably 50 or 60 humanoids gathering together. Okay, just to be clear, as a personal bodyguard, they expect you to be by their side pretty much at all times and to protect their person. Slick, that would be you, or not Slick. Blink, that would be you.
Who?
Sheik,
Blink.
Oh.
Shikamaru. I was combining Shikamaru and Blink. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Sheik, you're a sergeant, so you have a couple of guards, including one of them is a cultist
Hey.
that you're supposed to be in charge of and be ordering around, and the other 2 of you are just normal guards. Okay, everybody on board with me so far?
Loud and clear.
Okay, so just so we all, the stretch of road from Baldur's Gate to Waterdeep is a journey of about 750 miles. The wagons cover somewhere around 15 miles a day, and the animals need 1 day off out of every 7. So basically, you're going to be making about 90 miles a week, which means it's going to take you about 2 months to get to Waterdeep. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot. I would like each of you just a straight D20, please.
Mine have all these edges. None of them are straight.
Mhm.
Right? Oh, I'm gonna have to make a bad pun before every roll because it seems to
Yeah,
help.
let me try it.
It seems to help.
Got to be better, right?
Okay. It would have to be the tiefling. All right, good to know. Thank you.
Wow. Your foreshadowing is very mechanical.
Yeah, racism.
All
much?
right.
It's gonna be that guy. Oh well.
It would
Figures.
have to be the tiefling, yes. Okay, so Eric, you can rename your tune, by the way.
Yeah, I'll do that later.
Okay.
Am I gonna finally get in here soon?
Right?
You are. This is so
You've been quite a
Thank
champ.
yes, I did not think this would take this long, but you'll be a part of us. So about a day out, 2 days out of Waterdeep, as you're traveling along the everybody to here.
Oh, cool.
Here, I'll rename myself right now. Give me a sec.
Let me grab. Oh shit! I'm on the wrong thing.
I see Eric's token.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna drag you in because if I copy from the other map, every time I do that, that screws up. So let me just drag you.
I changed
guys
my name if you want to reset the map.
in. Okay. 1 second, guys.
Biscuit Hunter. Biscuit Hunter.
It's a winning name.
right?
I'm gonna make a hunter in World of Warcraft and name it Biscuit, just because I like that.
I have one named Thompson.
Nope.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Biscuit.
Couldn't believe it wasn't taken.
Oh, it's still showing up as area. Oh, whatever.
What is it?
I'm not really sure why, but I figured I can.
Is this my general's good wagon?
Something like that. Okay, can you guys see all the wagons?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good enough. All right. So you're a couple of days out of town, and as you round a bend and get on the straightway, you can see a human head sitting in the middle of the road, 100 yards ahead.
A human head? He's just like a
Just
head?
just a head sticking up in the middle of the road. In fact, since you asked, roll me a perception check.
Goth.
Already then.
Everybody rolls a 1. I'm gonna.
Wait, we're rolling it. Stop ahead.
Oh my lord.
Nope, bad roll, bad pun.
That should have been
God
high.
Because
bless
of-
America.
Looks like it was detached. Mr. Blink, you
Oh.
recognize that the head is actually attached to something that it's.
I was
it's
distracted
actually
by
a
the
Wait, I'm still trying to
person.
think of a pun.
Yeah,
That it's
no,
actually
Joe
a
stole my pun
person.
roll.
Look out, a head in the road.
It's a person buried up to their neck. They appear to be
That-
unconscious.
That was a pun. A head in the road.
Look,
So,
a buried person. Yeah.
wow.
Look
So
out up
do you-
ahead.
Do you approach a little closer?
Yes.
Okay. So when you get within about 10 feet, you can see that this person is alive, but apparently unconscious. You can see they're breathing. And you can see the word Oathbreaker painted on their forehead. By now, pretty much the entire convoy has come to a stop, and everybody's kind of standing around and looking at it. And many of the merchants are, oh, this is trouble. This is a bad omen. And he's probably a traitor, and he deserved what he get. We should leave him there. And others are saying, I don't know. And
Hey, buddy, what oath did you break?
he's unconscious.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Wake him up.
A
I
cure
pour my
cure
water.
wounds would probably do it.
Wow.
Hmm.
Sure would.
But this guy's a traitor.
Yeah.
Probably can't be trusted.
Daru, why is
Huh?
you?
What?
You still have 7 hit points for some reason.
Yeah, mine had reset to 12.
Do I have to relink you guys every time?
Yeah, if you drag us in, you have to relink us. If you copy and paste us from previous things, then no.
No, okay, because I thought copy and paste was a bad idea.
Nope. If
I
you,
suggest to Mr. Blink that if he helps him out, maybe he can keep him as a slave for his ass rubbings.
I had thought of that, but he's an oath breaker, so he would probably break that oath. And we're trying to get into the cultist caravan, so if we show mercy to an oath breaker, I think that might tip them off that we're not cultists.
Slave? I like the sound of that. Maybe they like slaves. Maybe
Yeah,
they.
They need people to carry shit, right?
It's true.
Ooh, we could sell them to them. Make some fucking money.
Ooh, now you're getting in the human trade business. You're diversifying your
exciting here.
portfolio.
Gotta
I
make
like
that
it.
money.
I like it. Hey, cultists!
Wait, we should probably clean him up and get a better price.
I would think. Probably wake him up too.
Can anybody heal his ass?
All right, Ken, you want in on this?
ugh.
Come on, why don't we
why don't
human
you make one
traffic a
of these?
little bit? What's up?
There you go. I cure him for 11 hit points.
He wakes up. His eyes are a little crazy. He says, "Can you get me out of here, please?"
Frieza, do your thing.
What? Has he got a shovel now?
No,
I'm not gonna
Frieza's
shovel.
our
Or is he going to
our
throw javelins
enforcer.
at it to undug him?
He's just our enforcer.
Oh, yeah, I'll put my javelin to his neck, but I ain't digging. Like, dude,
No, we'll just sell them to the.
Oh,
nah, that's
So
we gotta polish him up a
your
little bit.
merchant is one of those
All
ones
right.
doesn't think anything should happen to this guy. Should be left right where he's at.
I'm
Who,
gonna kind of
mine?
like get close to the chick I'm with. I'm like, what do you think about this whole thing? This guy in the road.
She thinks he should be rescued. That nobody deserves that.
Of course she does.
Well, you think we could put him to work in our caravan? What if we
have to
like?
see more of him?
What if we hang back and like dig him out while the rest of the caravan kind of like goes by, and then we see what we can do with him?
Okay. She agrees. She says, "Why don't you go ahead and do that? I'll stay with the wagon, but catch up."
Yep, it won't take us long. I'll get with these folks over here. I don't know who they are, but they're doing some weird stuff.
She wants at least one of them to stay with you. You can have one to help you. So
One of the guards.
Yeah, one.
Oh, no,
got two guards.
That's fine. They can stay with her.
Oh, both of them.
Yeah, both the
Well,
guards can stay with her.
She feels much better about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. No. I would not do that. Trust me. I'm capable. I want the protection of this cart.
Okay.
Wait, so can I cast cantrips while I'm like this is out of character while I'm like stuck here or something?
You cannot unless they're verbal only.
Yeah, you
Okay.
have to be able if it's on there with the what is it the
V,
M?
S, and M.
Yeah, M is the
verbal,
one, isn't that?
S is somatic, which is movement, and M is materials.
So the verbal. Okay.
So anything that has
So
S
if
on it, you
it's-
can't do.
Or
Okay.
M, because you can't get you're buried up to your neck. So
Alright, that's
if
fine.
it's V only, you could conceivably cast it.
So just
I'm gonna walk up to it's Joe and or
Okay.
sorry,
I'm gonna.
Mr. Blink and
Can I cast a cantrip real quick?
You can.
I'm gonna command on a Shikamaru. How do I do that?
It's one word.
don't think you
Okay.
can do that. Isn't it symbolic as well?
No, it's verbal.
Well,
Just
only
verbal?
verbal. I'm
It's
pretty
only
sure it's
verbal.
symbolic as well.
just click on it.
It's
Link it.
verbal. How do I do that?
Just click
Just click on the thing
yeah.
that says.
Are you
whatever.
if you're still in edit, it's not going to work. So you got to hit that pencil that I told you about
Oh, okay.
until it's grayed out, and then you can start clicking.
1v1.
Fuck. Fuck. Do I just drag it into the thing?
No,
or
you just
what?
click it. Click the when it turns.
It's in
blue,
the
click it.
spells thing, right?
Yeah.
I clicked it.
Should
Mm,
go into the chat when you do that.
Nothing happened.
It's not in my character sheet.
Oh, it needs to be on your
so-
character sheet. Hold on. What spell are you doing?
Oh,
Command.
it's command. I'll just throw it in there one sec.
But,
Sorry about this.
but before you cast it, it's one word. You
Yeah.
can tell him to pray, fall, kneel.
I can
that
tell
kinda
him to dig.
That was already going to happen, but sure, go ahead.
Wait. Can I tell him to dig there?
No, that's
Never-
two
never mind
words. He's gonna dig,
Dig!
right where he's at.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
just-
Never mind. Then. Okay, let's just
Yeah.
keep going.
You
Sit
are
boo-boo.
awake now, so I will stop speaking for you. You can speak for yourself, but it looks like Shikamaru is going to come dig you out.
All right. So just to summarize, Shimaru, are you taking them back to your?
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. I was gonna come up to, and it's Mr. Blink and Frieza over here, right? That we're beside him.
Yeah, we were ready to sell him into slavery.
Okay, I was gonna.
Well,
I come up and I'm like, hey guys, we can get this guy with our caravan, and then we can decide what we're gonna do later. That
Are
way
you
we
gonna
can
buy our?
at least get him-
Are you talking still sell them later, or are you gonna buy us out of our shares?
What are you talking about?
Oh, we were.
I wasn't
We're-
there. You guys have to.
Oh, okay. Let me catch
Slavery.
up. Yeah, we were planning on selling this guy to the cultists as a
Oh,
slave.
well,
at
I
some
mean,
point.
yeah, sure, but we could probably get some work out of him.
I like
I mean,
what you're thinking. If you,
I look down at him and I'm like, let's go
I'm-
talk over here a little bit before we finish digging this out. So he can't hear us.
Does anybody want to know what breaker?
Yeah, why don't you like? Never mind.
Does anybody want to know why he says Oathbreaker?
I was going to get to
Why
that, but I was just going to
Oathbreaker
get him
is
out of the
tattooed
ground
or
while the
written on
caravan's
his forehead.
going.
We'll find out about that after we get him dug out.
Okay, it's
we're-
going to take quite a while to dig him out.
Okay, so I start digging him out.
Frieza, your
I can.
your Teamster is really good. They all have it too. So Some of the merchants aren't too happy with digging the guy out. Some of them are. You hear grumblings. A couple of them throw shovels at you, and they keep going.
I heard your
Hey.
teamster is very in there, so very good. I don't know.
I'm sorry. Your teamster
was that
has
words?
the
Can
right
I-
equipment to get this guy out.
Oh,
wha-
shovels and whatnot picks.
But she's also one of thinks he should stay there.
Can I ask you something outside of character real quick? So
You
like,
can?
can I like I have a cantrip thaumaturgy. It causes trembles or tremors, but like they're not harmful. Can I use that to like help them? Like get me out of the ground?
At this point, no.
Okay, never mind that.
Understand something. You've been buried up to your neck in the middle of the road for about 2 to 3 days. You're kind of lost track.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
You went unconscious. You got to cure light wounds for you. You're feeling a lot better, but it sucks. You were slowly dying and still close to death.
Well, up from the on top of the wagon, I suggest to everyone that they dig faster.
Okay, so who's digging?
No, okay. Why don't you get down here and help us, you little punk?
Well, the wagons are continuing on, so for you to stay
Oh,
on the
okay.
wagon, range quickly.
All right.
Well, I'm using my wagon to block traffic for them, so they have to go around me.
Doesn't somebody have Mend Earth?
You're
This
not
would be a lot
driving.
easier if somebody had Mold Earth.
You're not driving. You're just a guard. She's driving, and she says, "Let's go."
All
And
right,
the
see you guys.
horses start pulling.
All right, so I
Give me a
dig
cut.
faster.
Frieza, did you get off the wagon? You stay.
Hey, Oathbreaker, watch your fingers.
Kind of hard to move them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't move them.
Frieza,
I don't wanna
are you
accidentally
staying
hit
with
a
the
finger.
wagon or not?
Yeah, man, I'm getting paid to do a job.
Okay, you're with the wagon. You're out of here. Daru, what are you doing?
I have not been involved in any of this. I was so imperceptive, I didn't see it.
Okay,
I still
so
don't know what's
you-
going on.
Okay, are you
Which
staying
wagon
with
are
your
you on?
wagon?
Of course I am. I'm on guard duty here.
Can you move your guys?
Alright.
Oh, there you go.
I
that one.
understand.
They're ahead
Mr.
of me?
Blink,
Yeah, I'm a bodyguard. I'm with my guy.
You and Daru in the same wagon?
No.
No.
no, you're not. Mr. Blink, your guy thinks we should dig him out.
Oh, he does. Oh, okay.
He says
Well, in
no
that
human should
case-
have that. Should have that. And he says, besides, I've got the gargoyle.
Okay. Is the ground frozen?
It's the middle of the road, but it got dug up. They put him in it, and they filled it back in.
Okay.
It's a bold move.
So you can help. Ken, you have
Mhm.
no idea what's going on. Frieza takes off. For the two of you, it takes about an hour to dig him out.
Good lord.
Ho, ho.
Well, think about it. You're digging a pit that's probably 5 foot deep
Mm.
and around big enough around. So,
If I take a level of exhaustion, can we cut that time in half?
no, because you're taking care not to shove a shovel through his shoulder, stuff
Right.
like that.
Okay.
But anyways, as he gets you out, Eric, why don't you say what you want to say, introduce yourself, and
Hey there. I'm Eric.
you're not Eric.
Okay, sorry. One sec.
You're Bellroom.
Hey there. I'm Balrim. I was buried here by the dragon fuckers that are trying to. I'm assuming I can trust you because you dug me out of here and I'm in your debt.
Oh
was,
yeah,
uh,
you can trust us.
All right, that sounded very okay. Real quick, what were they called again? The group
The Cult of the Dragon.
called, or not the Cult of the Dragon. Sorry, the shit, the
We could
the
call
cleric
ourselves
guys,
the Avengers.
Oh, the Harpers.
the Harpers. Yeah, I'm a part of the Harpers, and I was working undercover with the Cult of the Dragon. You can see by my tattoo on my right arm. I'm gonna show on my
He
tattoo.
does have the symbol of
Yes.
the Harper symbol on his shoulder.
Okay.
They found out and buried me here. There's a bunch of them in this very caravan. So watch yourself.
It's good to know. Thank you for the info. My name is Shikamaru. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Mr. Blink, nice to meet you.
We should honestly start working towards the caravan though.
Probably
Yeah.
should catch up.
So he's in a loincloth and nothing else.
Shit. I have women's clothing. Tear it up and use some of that if you want.
I'll just wear the loincloth. Thank you, though.
there is
Well, I mean,
a
like
robe.
you can tear the women's clothing into like a robe type thing. You don't have
Well,
to. stick
it
with-
is a robe, but let's see. Let
Well, I
me
have the
check.
cultist clothing, the purple clothing.
Right? That'd be fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
That would actually be pretty funny.
I have female clothes and
Five-
purple clothes.
5 minutes later, he's buried back in the road, and we're on our way.
Right?
Exactly. Hold on, let me show you a picture, because he has. Can you guys see
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
Oh,
that'll go well for
She's
you.
got a big purple cloak. He could wear that much at least.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's something we can make out of.
All right, I'll take the cloak.
Won't the
Okay.
people in the caravan know that he's wearing Furlom's cloak? That's a pretty obvious cloak of what it is.
No, I can cast. Don't worry, it's not that obvious. I'll cast light on it, and it'll just be really bright, and nobody will know what it is.
Mr. Blink, do you have a spell to let you change cloth colors?
Let me see if that's what it is.
Is prestidigitacious, whatever, does that allow you to do that?
Prestidigitation.
Yeah. Look at that one for me.
I don't have that one.
I was gonna say, if you have that one and you're not using it, I'm gonna bitch slap you.
Oh, okay. You don't have that one. Okay. Never mind then.
I have this one.
If you
Can
if you whack the shoulders and run that through the mud a little, that probably
Dirty it
will
up.
do it.
Dude,
Yeah.
you can make it the Joseph's Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Can I
It's
just?
It's gonna happen.
Could we rip it apart and I can use one of my cantrips to mend it back together to something else, or is that not how it works? Because I have the.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's going to mend back the way it was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
That doesn't necessarily reshape it. Yeah, what we can do is we could either like tear it up, and then make like a not like a loincloth, but like the Egyptians wore, the male Egyptians, or like a kilt like Scottish people wear,
Mhm.
and it'll be just dirty in a kilt, or you could just dirty it up and wear it as a cloak. Would be the two things I'd say.
All right, so you got enough to get him at least
Decently clothed.
covered up, and you can catch back up with the caravan.
I'm gonna. Sorry, just keep talking. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna cast light on myself and make myself shine purple, so that everybody thinks I'm a fucking beast.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, dude, stop! We don't want that kind of attention.
Yeah. He's going to
Oh.
ask you to cancel that because advertising
Oh.
that is probably what got you buried up to your neck in the first place.
All right, I'll cancel that then.
Cool.
Fair-
Thank you.
fair-
Appreciate that.
Fair point.
Okay.
All right,
We
just let
are-
me know
we-
when I make it up to my caravan again,
You,
and I'll be like,
we-
hey, look, we got
you
him.
are
and it's-
back, and he's
okay.
weak. I mean, he's still weak, and
Yeah. Well, then
Yeah.
he can lean on me like I'm carrying him. Like how they stagger along, and I'm like kind of his crutch type thing.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Adhere tells you to put him in the back of the wagon until he recovers.
Okay. And I offer up my
And
the water thing, cantina, whatever that water.
yeah.
Skin.
Water skin. Yep. He's very thirsty and hungry.
I'll give him some of my rations as well.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, just don't cast any more light. Okay, thanks.
Okay, deal.
All right. I would like to leave it here. I know that we didn't get into any fights tonight, but as I'm learning, you guys, I give you full marks for the
The role play.
yeah, the role play and the side chats we get into. I really didn't think I'd need to be talking about horse liniment tonight. So,
I mean,
but
come on.
Took a turn.
Come on, that's some fantastic role playing right there. I mean, it sucks that it took. I didn't realize it was going to take that long to get Eric in it, but
I didn't either.
Yeah, you were a champ
I
tonight,
thought.
man.
I honestly thought he was going to be joining us in the previous town.
Mm.
No,
So-
he. Well, we didn't fight anything, so there wasn't much. But this was one of the. This was in going outside of DM. This was probably the best hook I have in the whole campaign to get somebody in. So
All right.
the timing was right. We've got a 2-month trip with a number of adventures along the way in front of us. So I promise next week we'll be rolling dice and swinging swords.
I rolled dice. I had to heal
Cannot wait
slowly,
to roll some 4s.
right?
Yeah.
Bad puns
Occasional
before
2.
bad puns before each roll. You'll get a 20s every time.
It
I
helps.
need a book of
Worse
bad
the
puns.
pun, the better the roll.
Yep. Bad puns. Got it.
It's gonna be the name of this episode.
Bad puns.
Maybe bad jokes too.
I'll have the cops theme song playing.
Bad cops. Bad cops.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, this is horrible. My boyfriend just broke up with me for talking about video games too much. What a stupid thing to fall out for.
Oh,
Dude,
wow.
that's a
Oh.
critical strike.
I accidentally just deleted my person.
That's
Nice.
I don't know how to put
Oh,
him back.
It was nice playing with you. It's
Looks
a
like I
good game.
lost an electron. I should keep. a
Oh
better
man, I
eye
forgot
on
that
you.
was the poisoned flask. How stupid of me.
Whoopsie.
Thanks for putting me back in.
What was that, John?
yeah, but you're not linked up
Fucking ain't
yet,
work.
so I got some work to do.
Save those for your rolls, John.
Sex with camping is fucking intense.
Oh,
And what do we have? 18.
Yeah. It works. I'm gonna bookmark this page.
that's like, what do you call a
Be awesome.
lesbian dinosaur?
If anybody listens to us next week, they're gonna be like, "Whoa, what the fuck is he talking about? Why does he keep saying this shit and then hitting things?"
You know that, right?
Yeah, well, I really need to mend that attitude. How do I roll? Shit.
You have to have it on your character sheet, then you just click whatever you're trying to use.
Wait, I
Um,
want to know what's the lesbian What is it? Lesbian dinosaur?
I'm
Yeah, what do you
clicking,
call
it's
a
not
lesbian
working.
dinosaur?
Shit.
I don't
No
know.
idea.
A lickalotopus?
Oh, good lord!
Quick, sham, roll.
Roll.
Yeah.
Roll.
Roll before the
Here we
effect
go.
drops off.
All right, here we go. Holy shit.
See?
What the fuck?
Wow.
Never
You guys better hope I don't pull out all my bad dad jokes, because
See, he didn't do it. Look what happened.
I'll
Yep,
kill you in one encounter.
yep. Total party kill from bad puns.
What?
You just double critted.
Well, he rolled plus 20.
Okay, so like I say, we'll end it here because again, I want to be cognizant of everybody's on the Eastern Coast
Yeah, sorry.
time on a Sunday night.
Monday coming.
Fuck, I
Right.
forgot to
We
take my-
will
Shit, go ahead.
be together next Sunday, and I have quite a bit of content prepared for us. So
All right. Thank you very much.
thanks,
Yeah, it was
guys.
fun.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Quite enjoyable.
Yep.
Yep.
Welcome to the
Good night.
party, Eric.
Yeah, it's
Can't-
gonna.
can't
Seems
wait
pretty
to-
interesting.
Can't wait to sell
And
you to
Eric,
slavery.
I'll figure out why your guy isn't matching up to your tune. Did you roll dice yet?
We'll take care of all that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
He's got to do his
just-
health. Let me stop
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
stream
well,
here.
that's why his health is 0. Okay, so again, Ken, if you're around with him, or I can't, either one.
Yeah.
But he gets max hit points at first level, and then 2 dice each level take the best roll.
Advantage on rolls. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll stop
And
the
then
stream
and then at 4, if he increases his con, you go back and give him the bonus on all the levels he didn't get it on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right,
All
guys.
Right, everybody.
All right.
Good
Good night.